is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
Oh, yeah.
This is the Big O Show.
We are ready to rock.
This is the Big O Show.
Hope all of you all out there are doing all right and you're having some fun on a beautiful hump day. And, of course, a nice Wednesday. We are out here at Caneswear, and we'll be out here till about 3 o'clock. So we'll have some fun. We got a lot of different things I'm going to bounce around and talk about, from sports. I got a bunch of music notes today. Man, we got a lot of music news today to talk about. So that's going to be a lot of fun. We're out here at Caneswear, where, of course, check this hat out, huh? Huh? Yeah, baby. Is this a slick hat or what? You want a heat hat in those what's that called? Not Art Deco. They're called, what's that?
Miami Vice.
Yeah, Vice colors. Vice colors. There you go. Vice. You want to go Vice? Saw this hat there. So sweet at Caneswear, which is a beautiful thing. They've got it all here. Heat, Dolphins. How about this? Look at that license tag.
Michael Mann actually is loving this whole Miami Vice resurgence, you know?
For sure. How about this one, dude? A little Inter. How sweet is this tag? Is that a sweet tag or what, huh? Want to add that one? My what's it called? My Camry doesn't have, the grill doesn't have one of these things. If not, I would put this one right on it, man. That thing is beautiful, man. So I got a bunch of things out here. We'll be out here at Caneswear as always, like we do once a month, hanging out with Brett. They will get the Inter Miami jerseys actually late next week. They'll add those Inter Miami jerseys. So that thing's going to be awesome. Oh, I see that I didn't raise there we go. Put it this way. That way you could get the whole tag in there, because you got the Caneswear sign in the bottom that Bill puts in to tell you where we're at 2511 South University Drive in Davie, which is a beautiful thing. Anyway, we're out here till 3 having some fun. We got a bunch of stuff to talk about here on the show. Let me take a little sip here. To start off the morning.
For toward the end of February, man, it feels like the start of summer, right?
Yes. Yeah.
80 degrees.
Yeah. Well, good thing is we got our fans and everything. We're always prepared here. I brought yours.
What a nice gesture on your part, man.
Yeah. Although I chose to leave the big one behind at home. I go, did I take the big one? I go, it's not that hot. I think one personal one for each of us is going to be fine. Although I got to tell you, for some of our broadcasts coming up, I think I am going to get that AC for us for the tent. I am. Anybody out there good in that kind of construction stuff? What kind of AC can we get for a tent? Right? I need some help out there, some expertise on that. Got to figure that thing out. And I still want to see if I can team up with a company that has those vents, those air vents that they put indoors, that it just shoots air down and it kind of traps everything inside. That would be perfect for our tent on the broadcast when we're going to, because we got a bunch of broadcasts that we're planning that we're going to be on the outside, where people are going to be able to, see us and all that kind of stuff, like what we did at FanFest with the Marlins. So we're going to be popping up in different festivals and places coming up in the next year. So all of that is in the works. There's so much work behind the scenes. It really is amazing, man. How doing all of this. Yesterday I'm answering some of the questions on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, and a gentleman asked me something that was kind of interesting, and I really kind of compared it to Roy Williams. did you see Roy Williams the other day when they lost and he was like, hey, we're going to freaking compete and all that stuff, right?
Oh, he cussed.
Yeah,
Oh.
Right. But no excuses, old school style, all that, right? And I got to tell you something. I kind of related a lot to Roy Williams in a way because that's what life is. And so yesterday I get a text from a listener, and he says, hey, been a fan for years. You seem to bounce back from a lot of adversity, hard issues, radio stations, etc. What keeps you motivated? I'm in the same boat, just without health issues, which I got to tell you, bless you, my brother or sister, whoever sent that in, because I don't know if it was a male or a female, that you get to do it without the health issues, which is great. But it's a lot what Roy Williams was talking about. In life, you can't feel sorry for yourself. We're all going to go through adversity. We're all going to suffer setbacks. None of us are perfect. Some things are completely out of our control. Okay? And like he just mentioned, the radio business, there's a lot of things in the radio business that's completely out of our control. And there's a lot of us that we just lose our jobs, and it's not because we can't do the job. It's because there was so many other things going on. Okay? And, when I see that former company that I worked at and I see all the good people, you think Curtis Stevenson can't do his job? He's a damn good radio host, and he's not on the air. Josh Friedman can do it. I mean, Alex Donald has been let go and brought back, and it's like, they treat you like a yo-yo. It's disgusting. Jade Alexander is a goddess at her job, and they fired her, which is ridiculous. But these are things that plenty of people just have no control over because the people above you make bad decisions, because Intercom goes and purchases a couple hundred stations, and then they realize they don't have the money to run all those stations. Think about that. I mean, the local company here, you know how stupid it is that you syndicate the same show locally? That's because you're too cheap to go out and actually buy talent. So you'd rather lose money by putting the same show on in the same market in two stations. What behooves you is to put a show that's completely opposite of that. Put a real sports show on opposite of Hawk and Crowder, who, they do a little sports, but they really screw around more than anything else. And they do a great job at screwing off. That's their thing. It's awesome. But you got to put two women, put a hardcore sports show, put whatever opposite. So that way you get the people that maybe don't want to listen to that. They want to listen to something, because there's always people that don't want to listen to you. Trust me. Okay? Plenty of people. All right? So it's not like you're going to capture the entire audience or anything like that. But that's how this business is. It's crazy. But the suggestion I have for that person, that person that sent in the text, is you can't give up ever in life. You got to move forward. You can't have excuses. You just can't do that kind of stuff. Look, there's going to be reasons why you suffer setbacks. Some of them are going to be in your control. Some of them are going to be out of your control. But what you can't do is feel sorry for yourself. What you can't do is sit there and say, oh, woe is me. You can't do that. And that's my suggestion to that person, is that whatever challenges face you got to take them head on. And you can't allow people to dictate and determine who you are and who you're going to be. So the one company came in and monopolized the two radio stations. They destroyed one of them that only has one live show left in Joe. And so are we all supposed to give up? Are we all just supposed to crawl into our shells and go away? No, man. And I'm really, really fortunate that this is an option now. That in our on-demand world, this is where we're going. People are going to go to digital options, because that's what it is now. They don't have to go on the antenna anymore. And that's why terrestrial radio is dying. That's why satellite radio is growing, and that's why .coms are growing everywhere. That's why all these things, podcasting, all of this is exploding, because it's a much better avenue for the listener. And that's one of those things that I'm blessed that I have that option, but I also could have just given up and gotten a regular job. I easily could have done that. Okay, I had plenty of options, which, again, very blessed for that, but I didn't want that. I want to do this. I like doing this. I enjoy doing sports talk and pop culture and music talk. I like exchanging and talking with people. You know what I mean? I like talking with the listeners, and I may not agree with you all the time. I may disagree with you. I may call you a blind-ass fan because I think you're lost. But then again, I'm going to be lost, and I'm going to be a blind-ass fan too. That's the fun part about it. And so I enjoy this. So I'm determined to do this. And I'm determined to not allow anybody to stop me from doing this.
You're not bad at it, by the way.
Well, I appreciate that. That's very kind of you. But the one thing, you've been with me as a friend for almost 40 years. Now you're working with me. You are now getting a feel of how I'm wired when I do this kind of stuff. That I'm intense about this. That I
a little psychotic.
Yeah,
you
that's
could
right.
say that. Yeah,
yeah, that's right. I am, and because I care about it.
The wife had even warned me about you.
Yes.
By the way.
Yeah, exactly. If you work with me, get ready to work. You know what I mean? We're going to work. I'm not going to be afraid of working, and I'm not going to be afraid of a challenge, and I'm not going to be afraid to build something, and I'm not, and here's what's the best part about any of this for anybody in any walk of life? Do you know what the key to all of it in life is? Don't be afraid to fail. That's it. That's all. Because you can't think of failure. You have to go forward and try to succeed in everything you do. You will not. Okay? Tim Tebow is successful in a lot of things in life. Well, he didn't really get to do it too well in the professional level of football or baseball. But he's successful in every other way. And are you going to stop him? No. He's still playing minor league baseball. He's still determined to make his dream alive because he's not afraid to fail. It's a beautiful thing not being afraid to fail. I remember when I was getting married with my wife almost 26 years ago next month. And I remember a buddy of mine going, well, dude, what about if you have to get a divorce? And I looked at him and I said, brother, that's not even crossing my mind. That's why I'm marrying the damn woman, because that's it. I'm going to marry her. I don't want to marry anybody else. I'm done. And so far, so good. It'll be 26 years. We've been together 31, going strong. Everything's fine. I don't plan on divorcing her. I think she doesn't plan on divorcing me. I'm not sure, but maybe not. But you know what I'm saying?
You guys will be like my parents and still holding hands at 77 years old. Okay?
I hope so. Yeah, I hope so. Definitely. But you can't be afraid to fail in anything. That's to me the ultimate factor in everything. If you are going into a business venture thinking about failure, you got the wrong attitude. You're going into a marriage thinking about divorce, you're in the wrong marriage. You're thinking about a job and you think that job is not going to last, then forget about it. You're defeated already. And you can't allow, people will try to defeat you in life. They're going to try to bring you down. They're going to try to question you. They're going to try to tell you not to do this. They're going to try to tell you not to take chances because they're not willing to take chances. And when you're not willing to take chances, you're not willing to find out how far you can go. So that would be my suggestion on that for that person on the accidentlawfirm.com text line that asked me that. To me, that's the key. That's what keeps me going. When I'm sitting there in my bed, from that heart condition, I'm trying to get up and get out. I was at a function the day after I was released from the hospital for the radio station. I was at work a week later, which I shouldn't have been, by the way. I probably shouldn't have been.
Sure, the wife was not happy with you that day.
No,
and the baby as well.
But the doctor was like, you gotta get going. You gotta get going. You gotta get moving. You gotta start doing your routine. And I wasn't probably strong enough to do radio when I got back, but it's all about determination, man. And it's all about the refusal to give up. And I think that would be my suggestion to that person is don't be afraid to fail, man. Don't be afraid to fail, and don't ever give in to detractors. You know, that's the one thing. You're going to have plenty of those in anything and everything you do. You go into business for yourself. You're going to open up a landscaping business. They're going to, well, what about if this happens, that happens? Well, then, I'll take on those challenges when it happens. I'm going to open up an insurance company. Well, what happens if this, that? No, man, I'm determined to do it. I know I can succeed if I work hard and all that. Everybody is going to shoot you down all the time. It's going to happen, man. And you just can't allow people. I've seen people in our business, and you lose the job, and you got the "oh, woe is me" attitude, and it's not going to help you, man. That's not going to help you at all in life. One of the things I'm really proud of with my kid is that every time she started something, we made sure she finished it. So that became habitual. And it doesn't matter whether you succeed or fail, but finish it. You know what I mean? And that way when you finish it, you can't question what you did. Because you gave your all and then you let it happen. And if it turned out great, it turned out great. If it didn't, it's all right. I did my best. Move on to the next challenge. That's, to me, what it's all about. But anyway, so I thought that was kind of interesting, getting that question. I appreciate also the compliment in all of that. But actually, you can thank my dad more than anybody for that, because that's really my dad all the way right there. He was the guy that pushed through, and that's what I saw all the time, no matter what. And he had plenty of adversities. And, that's kind of what it is, man. You can't give up. There's no giving up in life, ladies and gentlemen. You do, life is going to run your ass over. And I plan on doing the running over. That's what I do. Let's get a roll call going out here. We got George, good morning. Mad Dog, what up? Josh, what's up, guys? Happy Wednesday, a hump day. Daniel Amador, good morning. Alex Rodriguez, morning. NFL DFS playback. Sup, everyone. Alex Rodriguez, faux show. Ian from Brooklyn. Big O in the house. Big Mike, good morning from New York City. Can Dolphin fans one day go without arguing? No, we can't. Big Mike until they start winning. Peter says, what's up? Ty in the Bronx, also what's up? Josh says, I'm happy that you're doing this, and it shows in your face you're the best. Oh, I appreciate that. It's very kind of you, my man. But, I'm just a survivor, my man. That's all it is. I'm just a survivor, and I'm the guy that refuses to go away. Great rant on life, Big O. Bottom line, nothing's going to hit harder than life. Need to keep grinding. Amen to that, man. Amen to that. That's the only way. NorCal says, a little psychotic, LOL, poor Bill. There you go. NorCal's
Thank you. I appreciate that, man.
Yeah, NorCal has sympathy for you. Mike says, heavy chit. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I thought it was really nice, the text we got yesterday. Well, they're teaching our kids now that everyone's a winner and nobody fails. What a joke. You know what, Mad Dog, that's a great point. because I find that to be. I think failure is important. I have a saying throughout my life that success is fed off failure. I've always said that. That's one of my things. And I truly believe that's because when you fell off that bike, did you stay on the ground? Did you? No, you got back on the bike, right? And then you fell off again. And then you got back on the bike again. And then you stayed on the bike. Correct? Well, when you started driving a car, it's kind of confusing. But you figured it out. I mean, everything in life is kind of figuring it out. I know they stopped teaching our kids cursive, and now I think they're going to start doing it again or something like that. When you started trying to write cursive, it was pretty bad, right? But then you got the hang of it. I mean, everything in life is like that. It's almost like with our kids today, we want to shelter them from failure, right? It's weird. No. Get out there. Fail. And then you will succeed. Because to try to paint a picture that we're all going to succeed at everything we do and right from the get-go, brutal. So every time my kid started doing something, she sucked at it like the rest of us. And then I would tell her, practice. Keep doing it. Keep doing it. Keep doing it. And she's had that attitude since from that day. Because that's what life is, man. This guy couldn't put together all this crap a year ago. Now he does it blindfold. I mean, but that's the way it is. You feel like a failure early on because like, wow, man, I'm not getting this. I'm screwing up. I'm on that. But then eventually you figure it out. You can't quit. You can't make excuses. You can't give up. Failure's good, man. It's good to go to the plate and strike out and then figure it out, and eventually you'll start hitting that baseball. Nothing wrong with that.
Adversity creates growth.
Yep, always. Always. So, yeah, I'm with you, Mad Dog. No doubt. Let's see. Mike says, went to FAU baseball last night. They're 4-0. They play the number 1 Canes on March 4th. It's going to be fun. I mean, the good thing is we usually have, like FAU's pretty good in baseball, FIU, Usually we've had some pretty good baseball teams down here.
Oh, the whole state of Florida, man. Sometimes we get like 11 teams.
Stetson
in the 64.
Decent.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know what? We played the Gators this weekend. Jeff was telling me from here.
Oh, yeah, over the weekend we do. Yeah.
Friday, Saturday,
They're
Sunday.
They're like number 2 or 3 or something,
They are
right?
number 2. There's so many different polls, but we're like anywhere from 1 to 3, and I think Michigan's the other one that's involved. But, yeah, some of the polls have us 1, 2, actually.
No doubt. The Raging Dolphin Maniac says, hey, Big O, thanks for the advice. Had a really bad couple days at work, and your advice really helped hit home with me. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. That's very nice of you. Jay says, what the mind can conceive and you truly believe the mind can achieve. Napoleon Hill. Amen to that. I believe that. Sharif says, good day, Big O and panel. There we go. Mauricio Arteaga. Starting the day with inspiration and motivational speaking like that. Well, I don't know if I'm Zig Ziglar or anything like that, but I appreciate it. Ty says, where's my wrench next to my name, brother? I would draft 12th overall pick from Oakland this year, Javon Kinlaw, DE, and Simmons, the linebacker, the 5th and our 18th pick. Trade to Oakland for their 12th and 19th pick this year and next year's 1st overall. Sharif, that sounds like, a great fantasy trade, but are you sure Oakland wants to do that? I love how we come up with these trades and, they all sound great in the fantasy sense. I don't know if they want to make it, and, you got to be sure that those players are going to be available and all that. We have no idea how the other GMs are thinking. Good morning, Big O and O. Fam, how we doing out there? He's asking. Let's see. What else do we have? A-Rod says, well said, Big O. Peter says, the comeback is stronger than the setback. Amen to that. John says, hey, Big O, when are we going to be able to call you? Well, it's going to take a little bit here. We're working on all those things behind the scenes, I mean, listen, John, if, I don't know, you want to come up with several thousands of dollars to help out, to build a studio and buy the phones and all that, John, come on, let's go. And if you are a sponsor and want to join in and help us grow this so we can make it bigger and bigger and bigger, because we're going to do that. But,
we eagerly await your to the day, man.
Yeah.
From the very first, I think, what was it, August 21st? 22nd?
Yeah.
Our first show was obviously that Friday
Right.
at Hialeah Park. But
Right.
I mean, yeah, anniversary, man.
Yep. So that's it's almost it's a short time and we've done a ton already as it is, but we want to do more now and we want to expand it, and we got a spot for studios now. We do have an office for studios now, but now is a matter of the construction of those studios, the investment into the equipment, and obviously the phone lines and all that other stuff, and we're going to need obviously sponsors and all that. So, John, it's if you can supply along with demand, come on, baby. Let's go. Bring it in. So there you go. And if you want to join us, come on, join us to help build this thing so we could do a lot more. I'd appreciate it immensely. I think the listeners would too. I think it's something that would grow. And remember, to help us grow, thumbs up every time you're watching. Share the link on YouTube. Pass it on to your friends on a text, Facebook, Twitter. I don't care what you do it in, man. Instagram post. I don't care where you go on social media, but that's the important thing. Okay? That's, if you can't become a sponsor and can't help build us a studio, like John Ross, I think John's going to do that. I think he's going to come down within the next couple of hours and drop off a big fat check for us so we can build the studios. Okay?
John's going to do that.
Yeah, I think so, because he's demanding phones, right? So I think John's one of those big spenders. He's got that cash, so he can come and he drop, he can drop 50 on us, and it's like a joke to him.
He is definitely going to come by. I'm pretty sure.
So John, well, that's what I'm saying.
He always does, man.
He's the big spender. He's going to bring us like the big cash. Bring the brownies. Forget the cash. Just bring us the brownies.
That sounds awesome. I'm all over that.
But no, if you want to join John and bringing in some money, some checks, let's go, baby. Get it done. Let's go. We can speed up the process. I love it. But I am, John, I want to have phones more than you. Trust me on this, okay? But we can only do so much. You know what I mean? It kind of really takes a village to raise a child. Well, let's go and take a village to kind of really build this thing that I want to build, the vision that I have, that it's not just these 4 hours. There's going to be a lot more to it and more people involved and all of that too, okay? Because that's the other thing, that I may have lost my job, but we got it back and in spades. But I want to create something that employs a lot more people. And I want to be able to get some of the good people that got screwed and put together something that at least would make you guys proud. And since I'm a radio guy, I would like to also make sure that the radio people are empowered that are with me and feel good about it. So, it's a process, man. It's a process. So we really want to get there. It's going to take a little time, man. It just is, unfortunately. But so far, we've made incredible progress in such a short time. Oh, you are more like Kane from Kung Fu instead of Ziggler. That's what Dougie Fresh says. Oh, love it. All right, what else do we have here on the roll call? Now you guys are talking more. Peter says John is cheaper than Seinfeld. I don't know, man. John's a big timer. I think he's going to help us out here. Drew Bo goes, no call-ins. Love this format. I would like call-ins, personally. Okay? Not that I'm going to be taking calls all hours, every hour. You know what I'm saying? But it's something that we would like to add to the show because it's always good to have that connection with people. I think calls do add something to it. You don't want to be completely caller driven. You want to obviously have a lot of talk because that's what people come to do, and they want to hear you, break down different things.
That is not a problem for you, sir.
No,
Material is not ever a problem.
No. Peter says they can knock you down but never knock you out. Damn right, bro. And nobody is going to knock me out. Merch is on the way, said. You have to buy it. Yes, the merch is. I had a merch meeting last week. We're finalizing the shirts that we're going to make, and we're going to have ready. And that's going to be a great way for you guys to support our show, too, is by purchasing those shirts. And that was cool with one of our listeners showing up to FanFest with one of the shirts. That was really, really cool. I really appreciate that. Jose O says, really miss you on the radio. Question is, what your assessment of Justin Herbert? Are the Dolphins just throwing smoke? The Dolphins have not thrown anything, sir. That's just a media member writing crap. Where did you hear the Dolphins say they like Herbert? Find that thing. Jose, the other thing you guys got to drop, don't miss me on radio anymore because I don't miss radio, okay? I want nothing to do with terrestrial radio locally here in South Florida, all right? I'm not working for any of these clowns ever again. I'd rather have a real job, okay? So trust me, I don't miss radio, and you guys don't have to miss me on radio anymore because you can catch me here every day for 4 hours. You can catch our podcast every day, so if you miss it, you can download it. I mean, Bill slices and dices it, better than OJ and Brentwood, okay? So, it's true. Doesn't OJ slice and dice in Brentwood? Wasn't he doing that kind of stuff?
Yes, he did.
Okay, well, I'm just saying.
Better than a butcher.
All right, well, there you go. There you go. John goes, your cell phone will do. Oh, you want me to give you my cell phone? Josh says, things happen for a reason, Big O. Can't wait for the NFL regular season. I'm with you, man. And to me, while it's what's that song that says that you got to get through hell before you get to heaven? What song am I thinking of? You got to get through hell before you get to heaven. Well, that's kind of what I feel in the last year and a half, the last 11 months that I was at QAM, and then the 6 months that I was at that freaking clown show 1210 with the clownest of people there is in the world, and evil. That I got to tell you, get through that hell. It helped to get to heaven. And that's where we're at now, where we get to do what we want. We do the show. We deliver the show every day to you guys. We try to bring you great guests every day, great talk every day. So, yeah, we got through hell before we get to heaven. Somebody help me out. What song is that? Damn it. Danny Amador says, just don't hire clowns. Oh, trust me. No. I'm a radio guy, so I will know who to team up with. Let's see. John Santos says, hey, will you have different colors on the shirts you sell? Yes, we will. We will have, they're not all going to be gray. We will have black ones. We will have red ones. Black, red, gray, and white, I think, are going to be the options. I'm pretty sure of that.
This is ridiculous, okay?
What's that?
That would be Steve Miller, big old jet airliner.
There we go.
You gotta go through hell before you get
to heaven. Yes, big old
Old
jet
jet.
airliner. Carry me to my home.
Everybody,
Yes.
I know O's voice is okay, but it's not as good as Steve. I
No.
would throw it up. but
No, YouTube will freak
YouTube
out.
will, yeah.
Yeah, no, YouTube will freak
I'll
out.
have a conniption, and that'll be the end of the Big O radio show for today.
Yep. And Jay came in with jet airliner from Steve Miller. Nice job by you, Jay. You got it in at 11:36, so right when you were saying it. Oh, you could monetize your YouTube account now that you are over 1K subscribers. However, that means ads. Well, we could do our own too. You know what I mean? So we're in the middle of all of that. Okay. All right. And if anybody out there wants to help us out in video editing, that would be nice. Reach out to us on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, 786-322-1105. I do need that skill. Big old Pearly Gates. What is that? What are you killing me or something, NorCal? What's the deal with Pearly Gates? What does that mean? What is Pearly Gates? Is that a song? Did you think that song, the line was from that song? I don't know the song Pearly Gates. Josh, who the F dislikes this video?
The
I
Pearly
love you
Gates
guys.
is where Pete hangs out and like assesses if you get to go or not.
Okay. All right. I know I'm not making it.
Yeah, you are, man.
You think? You think I'll make it?
Yeah. That's a given.
I don't know, man. We'll try. We'll still try our best. Did you catch Marcus Spears today? Because he was talking a little Dolphins. Do you have the Marcus Spears cut? He was on ESPN, and to talk a little football here and get into a little draft talk or a little free agent talk. And remember how we talked about yesterday how the Lions, how that stupid story came out last week that the Lions are going to trade Stafford and they're going to draft a quarterback and Dolphins should be worried, which is stupid because they're not trading Stafford. They can trade Stafford. The coaches will get fired right away. Common sense tells you that. Now, they could trade that pick.
I think
But
that
they're not-
sounds like the more logical play, right?
That's what they should have written their articles. They should have written their articles that they could have, but they didn't think. They just went like tools and one repeated after the other, and nobody thinks for themselves, right? They don't even. It's like the whole Tua thing. I'm the only guy that's finally brought up that you can draft him if you want, but I do want to remind you that you're going to have him for 2 years before you find out anything, because he's not going to play barely at all in 2020, if at all. And if he plays in the end of December when he's finally 100% healthy and ready to take a hit, because he's not ready to take a hit at all, okay? That means you have to go through another offseason, another draft, and then you will find out about him in the 2021 season. And if he fails and breaks down then, you can't draft another quarterback till 2022. And you're stuck with the guy you drafted that is broken down. Nobody thinks about that. So they don't think about this. So Marcus Spears also just pulling crap out of his ass, right? Because that's what talking heads do. Let's just fill airtime and let's just throw all kinds of crap out on the wall. Go ahead.
Teddy's best fit to me is Miami. Think about this. First of all, this was a team that offered him when he was a free agent previously. They showed interest. Teddy decided to stay in New Orleans. I think Miami proved a lot this year with Fitzpatrick. They proved they wanted to win. I was one of the ones on the boat earlier this year talking about Miami is tanking. They trying to get Tua and do all of that. But you saw what this team was doing down the stretch, and they were winning some meaningful games and putting themselves in position not only to be talked about with the draft picks that they have, but also make a few moves and try to continue to get better. Obviously, Teddy is a Florida guy. There was a couple other teams I mentioned, though. I mentioned Tampa. Bruce Arians doesn't seem like he's sold on Jameis Winston being the guy going forward. Indy and possibly Tennessee. Teddy was a good there was nothing prolific about his time starting when Drew Brees was out. But what he did was managed a really good football team and kept them in position to make a playoff run. So
what he did was also win.
Absolutely, absolutely. And now you think about free agent, how much will they pay him? It's been a lot of people have been talking about Teddy possibly being a hot guy on this market, upwards to $20 million per year to play quarterback for somebody.
All right, so a lot of things here that I got to talk about. And by the way, we've been talking for 42 straight minutes, which you'll never, ever get on terrestrial radio. Never. Okay, we continue to talk. Here's where all of this is just ridiculous. And I love Marcus Spears, by the way. He's actually one of my favorite guys on the radio. I mean, on ESPN. I think he does a really good job overall. But here's where you're kind of talking out of your ass. They already have a quarterback under contract in Fitzpatrick, who did a fantastic job. Again, let's take the Fitzpatrick test. Are we ready? Right? Because we got the Tannehill suckers.
When you came up with that idea, man, it's awesome.
I know. It is an awesome idea. Let's come up with the Fitzpatrick test again, okay? Because we have the Tannehill suckers out there, right? And for those of you that are fresh at tuning in and you're new to the show and maybe you haven't listened to the old podcast over the last couple weeks, months, whatever, I don't know, it was about a month ago, 2 months ago or something, I told you guys, take the Fitzpatrick test. Do you think Ryan Tannehill would have won 5 games with the current Miami Dolphins team? Any of you say yes, you're full of crap. You know there's no way. Let me follow it up. Do you think Teddy Bridgewater, who can barely move back there, Fitzpatrick at 407 years old is a better athlete than Teddy Bridgewater? You do know that, right? Do you think Teddy Bridgewater wins 5 games with this Dolphins team this past year? So, if you're the Dolphins, you already have your bridge quarterback. You don't need Teddy to be the bridge. You have Fitz. That's your bridge. And he's under contract, and it's cheaper than what you're going to pay with Teddy. So what do? Do you cut Fitz to pay for more money for an injury-prone quarterback in Bridgewater? And then here's where I do like Mark Spears. And like he said, and he said it perfectly, nothing about Teddy is prolific. And it's something we have this good guy syndrome problem in sports. We've talked about this before, right? Tim Tebow, oh man, we're dying for him to succeed. We're all dying because we love Tim Tebow because he's such a great human being. So it's hard to root against the guy. You can't hate Tim Tebow. I think it's against the law, I think, in America. I think Congress passed that law that's like I think it's illegal to hate Tim Tebow. So we all root for him because he's so lovable. The guy's building hospitals and, circumcising kids in the Philippines, and he's stopping a seizure in the middle of a baseball game from some guy that's having a seizure. I mean, the guy is he's brought from above. We know it. We know Tim Tebow is some kind of an angel that's walking around us, but he still can't play football at the NFL level, my brother, okay? And he can't play baseball at the major league level. And we can try all we want, but it ain't going to happen. And Ryan Tannehill is a fantastic young man, one of the guys quarterback. And Teddy Bridgewater will never be a franchise quarterback. He's just a guy. And with that offense, in 5 weeks, that guy threw 9 touchdowns. You do the math. That's not even 2 touchdowns a week. He won because he's got a great coach. He called a great game for him. Got a defense and a running game that supported him, that they all elevated their game, but they didn't have a difference maker back there. Teddy's not a difference maker. Never has been, never will be. Okay? Nice kid. Phenomenal young man. A jag at quarterback. Okay? Just like Ryan Tannehill. a Jag at quarterback. They're nice guys, but Jags. Teddy Bridgewater, 2014 with Minnesota. 64.4 completion percentage, which is solid. 14 touchdowns, 12 interceptions in 12 games. That's barely a touchdown a game, over a touchdown a game. 16 games his second year in Minnesota. He threw for 14 touchdowns, the same he did in 12 with 9 interceptions. You get what I'm saying? And they have weapons. They have a line. They have running game. They have everything there in Minnesota. But he's not a difference maker. He's a game manager. That's what he is. Now, some of you out there tienen la paja mental. You know, your mental masturbation because he's a local kid, because you have this thing, because you like him, and because he's a Miami kid and all that. And Ryan
He beat
Tannehill,
up the Canes 2 times.
Ryan Tannehill, he's a nice guy and all that. And Josh Allen, he's a nice guy. Can't dance, but he's a nice guy. And Lamar Jackson, nice kid. They're all Jags. They're all Jags. And Lamar only has on those guys his athleticism with his legs. That's it. But none of those guys are franchise. And when you talk about Teddy, they already have a quarterback in Miami. So why would you sign Teddy Bridgewater? That's stupid. Take a cap hit for cutting Fitz to sign a more expensive quarterback to take up more cap space? I could tell Mark Spears is not a GM. See, again, it's so easy for people to just, hey, go ahead and draft Tua. Yeah, dude, you don't have to put up with the hip injury. I love all these people. Well, no, he checked out with the medicals. He's fine now. What does that mean he's fine? When they repaired the first ankle, he was fine after that and injured the other ankle. And then he got injured after that. And he injured his knee, and then he injured his hip. What does that mean? Oh, but all these idiots that are like, no, draft Tua, go ahead. No, trade up for Tua. That's the best one. No, trade up for 3 for Tua. And then when Tua busts his hip and he's lying on the floor and they got to carry his ass off the field, all those idiots that said, trade up and draft him, you know what they're going to say? Oh, those Dolphins are morons. They took an injury-prone quarterback. You know why? Because they're not the ones taking the chance. Son, your ego's writing checks your body can't cash. That's what I hear from a bunch of talking heads. Nobody sits there in reality. Nobody talks that if you draft Tua, you got to sit on him for 2 years to find out. So you got to wait for 2 years to find out if you made a mistake. And Marcus Spears, no, sign Bridgewater. Well, dude, do you know they have a quarterback already? They take some kind of a cap hit if they cut him, small one, and then they got to pay more for the other. Do you know all of this? And I get it, Miami has cap space to spare, but why should you throw it away too? I don't get it. Why am I going to throw it away? I'm going to pay $20 million to $30 million for Teddy Bridgewater? Oh, why? Because he's a beautiful young man? Because you want him to marry your daughter? Because he's a Miami kid? Because he went to, what was it? It was a Northwestern, right? Did he go to Northwestern? Is this all, is this what we're talking about? That's what this love affair is? Or do we do things because they're the right things to do and they're the responsible things to do? Like, don't sign Teddy Bridgewater because he's not an option. Oh, and by the way, he's not better than Fitzpatrick. I hate to tell you this, Marcus Spears, he's not better than Fitzpatrick. Those key runs that Fitz had all throughout the season, Teddy can't make one of them. And Teddy's little fragile ass goes out there in the open field, they'll break him in half. Come on, man. We got to stop, bro. We got to stop with this love affair. All right, you guys, some of you, you got to separate the two things. Just because he's a great guy doesn't mean he's a great quarterback. Wow. Just saying.
Says Miami Northwestern, man. You were right on the money.
Okay, there we go. I don't know. I don't remember everything. My brain gets fried sometimes here, trying to remember everything at 53.
He was highly recruited and all that. He was supposed to go to Miami. We know he went to Louisville.
He's a great college quarterback.
I mean,
college.
I think that's what a lot of people are connecting. You know what I mean? And it's like, man, you're talking about NFL to high school to college. Come on.
My brother, I went through it with Ken Dorsey.
Oh, yeah.
You have no idea how Dolphins and Canes fans went after me that draft year because I told them Ken Dorsey can't play in the NFL. But no, he's such a great young man. He led us to the championship. He should have won a second one. He's phenomenal. He's super smart. Doesn't have an arm for the NFL. No, but I mean, the hate I got, bro. Oh, you're a hater. Oh, you're just wrong. Oh, why do you do this to Ken Dorsey? He's a Miami guy. Bro, it's not Miami. It's not that he's a nice kid.
That's being a homer.
I'm just being objective about it. Just take a step back and look at it. Please don't talk to me about Teddy and tell me that he's an answer to anything at the NFL level, because he's not. He never will be. I got this one idiot that sends me texts on the accidentlawfirm.com text line. He sends me texts when I was at 1210. He sends me texts for years at QAMP. He's in love with Ryan Tannehill. And he sent me another one last night. Hey, you keep embarrassing yourself talking about Ryan, that he's just a guy or whatever. I'm like, dude, you're embarrassing yourself for believing he's a franchise guy. Because every time a franchise moment comes up, he fails. But go ahead and keep believing it. Why? Because Ryan Tannehill is such a nice guy. This nice guy syndrome, man, you guys got to drop it, bro. Some of you out there, you got to just lose it. And by the way, 99.999999999% of all those Ken Dorsey guys or women never reach back to me to say, dude, I ripped you. I called you an idiot. I called you a hater. But you were right. None of them. I don't even know if I got one. I just say 999 because maybe one slipped through the cracks over the years that were like, whatever. But I got so much hate. Canes fans all over. We're like, oh, I can't believe you're going against the Cane.
There's another one? Steve Walsh, man. Steve Walsh, the same idea.
My favorite quarterback.
Yes, number 4, baby.
My favorite quarterback of all time.
Never lost the game.
For the University of Miami is Steve Walsh, and I'm the first guy to tell you that. And he made it to the playoffs with an NFL team. He took the Bears to the playoffs.
Went 8-0 when he started.
Right. Okay? And he still didn't really have the arm for long term. It was just, things go well for you one year. Everything falls into place, Ryan Tannehill, and things go well for you. But it's not because you're this ultimate difference maker, because you're not. You got to have a certain skill set. And when I saw that with Marcus Spears today, I was like, come on, dude. Really? Really?
If you just factor in the ramifications of the salary cap, you don't do it. You already have Fitz. Obviously, he didn't factor nothing, and it's just like you said, let's just spew at the mouth.
Let me just pull it out of my ass and just throw it up there and whatever. And, it is what it is. Remember to share the link on YouTube with your friends, text, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all of that. Let's see what we got here since we've been chatting. No Tanny or Teddy. They both suck. That's what Pete says. I'm not Pete. I'm not going to say they suck. I just say they're Jags. They're just another guy. That's what they are. Josh Allen doesn't suck. He's just another guy. That's all. Lamar's special with his skill set running, but he's as a quarterback, he's a Jag. I don't think he'll ever be a great quarterback. I don't think he'll ever be a great passer. Marcus must be snorting cocaine if he believes that Teddy Bridgewater is coming to Miami. No, I don't think. I just think they're filling time because it's 24 hours.
Well, that get up in the morning show they're constantly irresponsible.
Yeah.
Man. Constantly. You know something, sir? We're going to have to stop here because we got to get Ray on.
Ray. Oh,
Ray Fittipaldi.
Okay.
Fittipaldo, I'm sorry.
All right, that's right. We're
Pittsburgh.
going to talk a little Steelers since we got that controversy going on. Ray Fittipaldo covers them for The Athletic, so we'll have a little fun with Ray on the other side. Let me see. Pete says, bro, Tannehill takes chances. They drafted a wide receiver to play quarterback. Miami gambles big, and Tua's coming in. And when he does, he's playing week 1 this season. Mark my words. Pete, brother, put the weed down, okay? His hip will not be healthy enough to play in week 1. Do you understand? It's not even a year removed from the surgery. Do you think they're going to throw a fragile player out there 8 months, 7 months removed from a surgery? No, dude.
Hips and shoulders, man. You got all these blood vessels and muscles and connections that got to get right.
Oh, man.
Shoulders and hips, man, it's a different animal.
Yes, no way, bro. Pete, brother, put it down, man. Put it down. They're not going to play Tua practically the whole year. If he plays, it's like in December. Okay? They'll let him get really healthy. He's not ready to take a hit. All right, let's talk about that Steelers controversy with Ray Fittipaldo from The Athletic next.
Plus tax, tech title. It includes $8.99 dealer fee on approved credit offers and 11/10/19. Over 1,500 Toyotas are on the ground, and truckloads of new 2020 Toyotas just keep on coming. To eliminate all 2019 models, Toyota of Hollywood is holding the 2019 model year changeover event. Make us an offer, any offer, and you can buy a Toyota at up to 50% less than their original MSRP when new and used. 50% less. A pre-owned 2019 RAV4, not $30,000, $19,775. A pre-owned 2019 Camry LE, not $26,000, $17,775. A pre-owned 2019 Corolla LE, not $22,000, $12,775. Pay up to 50% less at Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer, based on total retail sales of new Toyotas in the Southeast region for 2014 to 2018 per SET, on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
No one expects to get into a crash, but I expect you to go to accidentlawfirm.com if you do. Make sure when hiring a driver, you go through a rideshare app so that you can be covered by the insurance, which can be up to $1 million whether you're a passenger or a driver. In other words, don't try to save a few bucks by paying cash instead of going through the app. I'm attorney Bobby Nunez from Nunez Law in Miami, and we're here to help you through the process. Go to accidentlawfirm.com for a free consultation from me, Bobby Nunez. That's accidentlawfirm.com.
The world's biggest band is coming twice. Metallica. Headlining the Welcome to Rockville Music Festival. 2 different nights, 2 different sets. The weekend of May 8th through the 10th. Go to welcometorockvillefestival.com for all information. Get your tickets on sale right now. The one, the only Metallica. Go to welcometorockvillefestival.com.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
All right, we are ready to rock here in hour number 2. Ray Fittipaldo is always kind enough to join us on the show. We're going to talk a little Pittsburgh Steelers. He works for the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, covering the Steelers on an everyday basis. You can follow him on Twitter at RayFit2Ts1. Follow him there, and you will be in touch with your Steelers. Ray, good afternoon, my man. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, Orlando. How about you?
I'm doing fantastic. You know, Ray, I laugh because sometimes in life we maybe leave one person for another because we think the pastures are much greener there. We leave one job for another because we think it's going to be a better job, and it doesn't turn out. We move from one city to another because we think we're going to enjoy it more, and we don't. And, now that we're, a year removed from a lot of this stuff going, I'm seeing the stories in New York of how Le'Veon Bell doesn't really get along with the coach because the coach didn't really want him. Now the stories are that he's fat and he really wasn't, he didn't look as explosive and all that crap. We see Antonio Brown he's changed multiple teams. He's out of the league now, facing all kinds of legal issues. I wonder when those two guys lie in bed at night, I wonder if they both lean back and say, I really screwed up. I should have just kept my mouth shut, maybe worked with the team, worked out a deal, and I would have been so much more happy, and I would have been productive. What do you think about that right now with those two guys?
Yeah, it's funny how it works out, doesn't it? Looking back right now, Kevin Colbert should have been the GM of the year for getting a third-round pick and a fifth-round pick in return for Antonio Brown, who never played it down with the Raiders. So, and if you're into AB's social media account, he came out with an apology to Ben Roethlisberger within the last week or so, basically saying what you just said. I didn't know how good I had it. So, yeah, it's funny looking back. It certainly didn't help the Steelers that those two guys left. But yeah, looking back on it, maybe if they had to do things over again, maybe they would have re-upped with the Steelers, or in AB's case, just played out the remaining years of his contract, because things have not gone well for Bell or AB since leaving Pittsburgh.
Well, Ray, this week, a couple of firsts for us, dude. One, we saw Mike Trout get in the middle of a controversy, and then we saw Mike Tomlin get in the middle of a controversy. Two guys that they're excuse me, they're all about business, 99% of the time. How shocked were you that Mike Tomlin took the stance he took for his quarterback?
No, I wasn't shocked.
On the public side of it. On the public side of it.
Yeah. Yeah, really, if you listen to Mike talk on Monday on Outside the Line, he basically said, the Steelers probably could have said this in November, and they would have felt comfortable saying this in November. They just didn't want this to be a distraction during the middle of what was a playoff run then. It was very effective what he did. As everyone knows, Mike Tomlin is one of the few black head coaches in the NFL. He really has a good feel of what the type of person Mason Rudolph is. And when this accusation came back a second time, and it was all over social media and it was all over national TV over the weekend, they finally felt like they had to say something. And if you listen closely to what he said, and it's very noteworthy that Myles Garrett has kept his mouth shut for the last couple of days. He basically said, Myles, keep your mouth shut, or Mason Rudolph and the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to take legal action against you in the future. So I thought it was effective. We'll see if Myles Garrett continues to keep his mouth shut, but if he doesn't, I would not be surprised at all if a lawsuit is already drawn up, and then boom, we'll hear about papers filed immediately after that happens.
Oh, yeah. By the way, I actually on my show a couple months ago, I said he should take legal action. He should have.
Right.
I think Myles Garrett is as weak as it comes, because if it was said, somebody would have backed it up. There's audio being recorded left and right on a football field. It would have been picked up. Clearly, it wasn't said. And I don't, it's sad that you would stick with this story. And, it's funny because I've been talking about this with the baseball players. In our society, you can go two directions. You can ask for forgiveness, like Jason Giambi or Robert Downey Jr. or even Michael Vick, and people will embrace you. But if you want to be combative and you want to fight the lie, like Pete Rose and the Astros and countless others, Armstrong and Ryan Braun and all that, we will cast you aside as a society. And I think that I keep seeing people make the same mistake. When you're in public like this, man, you got to learn this lesson. And Myles Garrett is walking a real fine line at this point. I think what really saves him, Ray, is that we don't have any proof one way or another. And maybe what we need, Ray, is for that entire audio in the end zone at that moment to try to be released so everybody can hear all the audio there, whatever it was, and then we can hear if there was anything racial or not. And that might put an end to it all, actually.
Yeah, I mean, that would be ideal, but the NFL claims, and they've said this multiple times now, that there is no audio that they can release for that game. So, I mean, you're right. We might be in a holding pattern here, and this might not ever be resolved one way or the other. But, the one distasteful thing about this whole thing, the way Garrett has gone about it, and it's kind of in plain sight for everyone to see. It's almost like he's using it as part of his rehab tour or as part of his excuse for doing what he did.
Justifying.
And Mason Rudolph is like collateral damage. And I brought this point up in many other interviews I've done over the last couple of days. Mason Rudolph is only under contract for 2 more years with the Pittsburgh Steelers. He has to continue to work in the NFL, hopefully from his perspective, for long after that. And he has to live the rest of his life working and trying to find a job after that. So his reputation is on the line. That's why I agree with you. Maybe he should have brought this lawsuit up a long time ago because this goes way beyond the Pittsburgh Steelers and, whatever affiliation they have with him over the next 2 years. This is his reputation at stake, and he's got to do everything he can to protect it.
Yeah, I'm with you there. What's the latest with Ben Roethlisberger, my brother?
Everything seems like it's a go. He's got a doctor's appointment on Friday. If he gets the green light from his doctors there, they're going to allow him to start throwing some lighter objects like tennis balls and Nerf balls and that sort of thing. And Ben said in the fall that the expectation is that he would be ready by OTAs or minicamp. And then in that interview on Monday, Mike Tomlin said he has no hesitation in saying that Ben's going to be ready for the season. So I don't have an exact date to tell you whether he's going to start throwing footballs in May or June or July, but the Steelers right now have no doubt that he will be ready for the 2020 season.
Ray, I don't believe in either backup, dude. I've never been a Mason Rudolph guy. I don't think he's ever going to be a starter in this league. And the Duck Master does not convince me. And you got a guy coming back from that elbow injury. Pittsburgh's got to draft a quarterback this year, right? I mean, if I'm correct, they do have a second round pick. There's some interesting project guys there in that second round. What do you think Pittsburgh does? Do they take a quarterback in this draft at all?
I don't, and here let me tell you why. I think your thought process is solid on that, but let me tell you why. If they really truly do believe that Ben is going to come back at full strength, they have to do everything they can to maximize these final 2 years of his contract.
Gotcha.
And if you watch that team perform last year, they didn't really have a receiver that could separate against man coverage. I mean, I love Juju. I think he's a really good player, but he's not a burner. And I think they need to maybe draft a receiver in the second, third, or fourth round. James Conner has been injury prone, and he's entering the final year of his contract. So they're in need of a running back, and they have an iffy situation at tight end, and their offensive line is growing older. So they have all kinds of needs on offense that probably need to be addressed before the quarterback situation, even though, as you say, it's a very tenuous situation with that elbow. I just think they're going to put all the marbles on the table. They're going to live and ride with Ben for the next 2 years, and for that reason, I think they have to address those other needs in this draft.
Donovan Peoples-Jones, baby. All right, I got you. All right, Ray, good stuff as always, my brother. Check him out at the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette. Follow him on Twitter at RayFit1. Ray, you're always awesome for taking some time, man. We really appreciate it.
All right, big. Appreciate you having me on.
You got it, baby. Be good. There you go. Ray Fittipaldo. I'm just saying because they pick at 49, I believe. So I think the Donovan Peoples-Jones player might be one of those guys that could be available to him in the second round. So we thank Ray Fittipaldo for joining us here on the program. We love it. NorCal says, don't blame what Pete said on the weed, Big O. You're right. I shouldn't do that. That's just wrong on my part. I got to start picking something because I've been doing that for so many years. What do? Do I blame it on alcohol? I don't know. Michael says, can the 18th pick in next year's number 1 swap with the 5th and get the number 1 pick is enough to draft equity or too much? You guys have way too much time on your hands coming up with these crazy-ass trades. That none of them are going to happen. You guys realize that, right? You guys realize that all these maneuvers that you guys are coming up with, none of them are going to come to fruition, right? You guys get that, right? John says, set to learn and heal up 1 year under Fitzpatrick. Year 2, he starts. Now that could happen with Tua. Definitely. If the Dolphins do draft Tua, it's what I tell you. He's going to sit most of the year, maybe play in December, but then really start the following season. And that's when you're going to find out whether you have a guy or not. And another draft has gone by. It's tough, man. That's tough. Because if you draft Jordan Love, you can play him, at least 3/4 of the season, half a season, and start getting a good feel for him into his year 2. Not that I'm a Herbert guy, but if you get a Herbert, you can do the same thing. Half the season, whatever, 3/4 of the season he plays, and you get to find out about him in the first year. That's a huge difference, ladies and gentlemen. An enormous difference. And here's the thing.
You're the only one mentioning that, O.
I know.
I have not heard anybody say the fact that you in 2020 aren't going to know nothing still about Tua.
Right. Which is crazy that you're going to make. Can you imagine trading up for Tua and still not finding out anything about him in the 2020 season? I mean.
And that's the latest thing. They got all these people moving up to 3.
Yeah. With Detroit. With Detroit. Yeah. To get him. Right. So here's the other thing that happens in all of this, because we were talking about the Bridgewater thing. We also have the bait and switch that goes on with quarterbacks. And it happens because teams buy into things, and it's crazy. Look, when you and I fall for something, we don't get paid to do this. So it's normal for me or you to be wrong about anything talent-wise, and we're assessing they are not going to be good at this, right? The pros are supposed to be good at this. They're the ones that are trained. They're the ones that are supposed to know all of this, right? So when you hear about Bridgewater, right, and then people are talking about that he could command $20 to $30 million on the open market, and it's like, okay, so what do you think you're getting? You realize you're getting Case Keenum. He's just black. That's the only difference. Case Keenum, Teddy Bridgewater. Both guys are unathletic. Neither guy has a good arm. Because none of them have a gun. They're both super smart. The only difference is one's a white dude, one's a black dude. That's it. But it's the same guy. And then you pay that money, and it's a bait and switch. It's like when you go to one of those mom and pop car dealerships, and they're doing their commercials on the local cable channel, and they're saying, come on down, we got this car for $8,000, and it's a 2019. And you get down there, and they tell you, oh, yeah, no, we just sold it. But we have this one. So they switch you, bait and switch. They baited you in with that one, but they switched you up with another vehicle to try to sell you, right? And people do that in business all the time. That's what this is. It's bait and switch. It's Teddy Bridgewater. Well, go ahead, dude. Denver bought him too, and his name is Case Keenum. And why? Because and that's not what he is. He's not the guy that's going to kill you. He's not.
Nick Foles, man. He wins the Super Bowl.
Would you shut up already? You ruined my damn point here. you go Bridgewater, you get Case Keenum. They're smart, neither athletic. Sign him, you think you're getting. You can fit everything right, and he'll be the difference maker, and you flop. Same thing with Tannehill. Somebody, that's what I was going to say. It's Nick Foles. Tannehill is Nick Foles. But yet the Jags fell for it. And Nick Foles did something that Tannehill has not done. He didn't switch. Yet the Jags, the Broncos, these teams are stupid enough to sign Bridgewater and Tannehill thinking that they're going to be the guys. Again, I'm calling Keenum Bridge. I'm calling Foles, Tannehill. Get it? And for it. How does John Elway not see in Case Keenum what I see? What a lot of you see? The Jags, the second they gave Nick Foles that money, come on, tell me you weren't laughing your ass off. Tell me you were like, Nick Foles, they're going to give him that money? Even Alex Smith, when they gave him money. And he at least is more accurate than those guys. Alex doesn't necessarily play with the cojones that I would like for a quarterback. And he's not the most, gifted arm either. But he's a little better of a quarterback, but he's still not a franchise guy. He's still not going to carry. About Brady, then they obviously think that Tannehill's not the answer. And I get it, Brady, but Brady's 43 years old, bro. He's got maybe a year or two left. Ryan is young enough that he can give you 7, 8, 9 years. So if you think he's really the guy, then you would sign him. You wouldn't be thinking about Brady. We have to have the right situation. But it really is hilarious to me how the bait and switch happens all the time. But it's me. We can fall for it and we can say, hey, we love this guy and it didn't work out. He sucked. Like Brock Osweiler. I love Brock in the third round as a project. Didn't work out. That's it. Denver took him in the third that year. But I like Brock. Everybody knew that. I'd rather take, I even said it, that I'd rather take the gamble on Brock in the third than draft Ryan Tannehill 8th overall. Because I'd rather fail in the third with the project than fail with the 8th overall pick as a project. It's like Nate Stanley. Nate Stanley's got some holes in his game this year. Kid coming out of Iowa, but I like him. I like the Kevin Davidson kid out of Princeton. Raw. But I like him. Not going to take him early. Anthony Gordon, Washington State, I like him. I think that kid, late second, third round, is probably worthy of the pick. Now, he's got holes in his game. Not a sure thing, but I like him. Those are project guys that I like. I always find one or two in every draft almost that I point out. This year, it's 4 of them. Love, Nate Stanley, Davidson, and Gordon. I like those 4 guys. I would take a chance on any of those 4 guys. Love, you'll have to reach, unfortunately, because he's so tempting, his athleticism. The other guys aren't going to go as high as those guys. The other guys will go 2nd through 4th rounds. Maybe the Davidson kid even drops to the 5th round. But that arm, I don't think he falls that much more because he's got a hell of an arm.
These project guys, man, how long do you, give them to assess?
3 to 4 years, bro.
Really? That long? Like the contract, the length of the contract.
Because they're not going to play right away anyway.
Right, so they got to earn and gradually.
Right, so you're not really going to see him anyway early on.
In game time.
Anthony Gordon, if Anthony Gordon gets signed, he doesn't play this year. If Nate Stanley gets drafted from Iowa, they don't play till December.
Season's locked. We already out. Right.
Out, and then they got to throw him in there for a game or 2 or 3 just to kind of see him. Those guys won't
because you
play.
want to get a look. You want to get a look.
Yeah, and Fitz is gone. You'll probably move on now. So you'll probably play him towards the end, those kind of guys, because they're so raw. Jordan might play a little earlier because Jordan's got some gifts, man. He's got some gifts. He's really talented, So that's the difference. But there's always those guys that you want to work on, and they're worth taking. But you don't take a project in the early part of the first round. You just don't, man. You just, it's ridiculous. You don't take the Blaine Gabberts. You don't take the Ryan Tannehills. You don't take those kind of guys in the first half of the draft. You can't. You can't look at a guy. He's got to have more to him than all the holes that you got to teach him this, teach him that. No, you can't do that. That's why the second round is there in the third and the fourth. Fail there. With your first rounder, man, you need to hit on that. You got to bring some studs in. 786-322-1105 on the accidentlawfirm.com text line. That's 786-322-1105. This chat board is blowing up. Dougie Fresh says, but I think a lot of them is you guys are talking to each other, not to me. Oh, I'm a nice guy too, but if you need brain surgery, you might want to go with an a-hole who is a great doctor. Don't use Dr. Dougie Fresh. There you go. I'm with you, man. Guys, a franchise QB doesn't have to be a first-rounder. We just need to find a diamond in the rough and decent. Richard Casillas, you, sir, are 1,000% right. That's right. Doesn't have to be the first-rounder. That's why I'm not the guy that, oh, my God, I got to trade up for Tua. Oh, my God, if I don't get Herbert, my season is done. My life is over. No, I'm not doing that. Let's see. I agree we need one. No, but you guys are talking to each other here. Fitz is a bridge, Mike. They're telling him if he can play week 1, draft him. If he can't, move on. Miami, and listen to what Big O just said to me. There you go. What else do we have here? John says, sit to learn and heal up 1 year under Fitzpatrick. That's right. Armed Ape says, availability is an ability, one that Tua sorely lacks. Burrow is not an option at this point unless he pulls an Eli at the draft, and Brown will still take him, dude. Herbert is the best option at 5. You keep your picks and get a big QB. Armed Ape, while I'm not a Herbert guy, I understand it. You know what I'm saying? I can't argue with the Armed Ape's logical approach to it. Okay? We can have the discussion whether you believe in Herbert or not. You can't deny is worthy of the pick. Because if the guy gets it mentally, it's over. He'll be a good quarterback. Give us your own Dolphin mock draft. I will, sir. I will. I'll give it to you on draft day. When the 5th pick is coming up, I'll tell you what picks I like. We'll play. And then when the 18th pick is coming up, I'll tell you that are available and who I like. I'm not going to pick players now that I have no idea if they'll be on the board or not. Mock drafts mean nothing. Mock drafts are just, it's fodder. Okay? Maybe when we get our project going and we enlarge this thing and the website at bigoradio.com, we will maybe add mocks out there, but you got that right.
Some people know you.
That's right. They know me. They got me. They caught me. What else do we have here? Sofla fan says, hey, Big O, I totally agree with your brother about those guys being a jag. Your audio is breaking up, Mike Pellegrino says. Is it? I don't know. Let me see. Hold on. I'll tell you right now.
I've noticed we've been a little intermittent on the signal.
You can't look at a guy. He's got to have All right, will YouTube go after me for replaying my own thing? Okay, so right now it sounds good.
Did you sign off on your copyrighted stuff for you to put it out there?
Yes.
Are you okay with that?
Yes. What part of dislocated hip are you missing, says Arm Dave. I appreciate you having reporters from other teams on your show. It's comforting to know that personalities, knuckleheads, babies, and divas are on every team. Oh, yeah, no doubt about that, bro. They're all over sports. Guys, it would be suicidal to trade up for Tua. I agree with that. Kaseya says, I hope Lions draft Tua. I want Jeff Okudah. Okudah's a hell of a player. Nothing wrong with that. Ian from Brooklyn says, trade up for Tua would be ridiculous. Hashtag facts. Jason Gardner says, great show, Big O. Thank you, Jason. I appreciate you, my man. Steve Chapman says, how were you able to talk to Ray on the phone but not take calls from listeners? Because Ray is calling us on our personal phone, Steve. We can't give out our personal cell number. And then that would be one cell phone number. And then everybody's calling one number to get on the air. That doesn't, you know what I'm saying? Now, if any of you out there are technical geniuses, is there a digital format that we can create a phone line with multiple phone line banks and take it with us more portable? If those of you out there are experts at that kind of stuff and can help us out, let's do it, baby. I got no problem with that. I think we do need. I don't know if a mobile company can come up with something that could give us something with multiple lines. You know, hey, listen, I'm not doing it because I don't want to. Okay? I want to add the calls. I'm the one that added the interviews, and I'm the one that added the text line for us and YouTube chat board because I want the connection. You know. I'm the guy that actually socializes with our listeners, okay? I'm the guy that actually becomes friends with some of our listeners and hangs out with some of our listeners. So trust me, it's not me. It's just a matter of resources. And again, Steve Chapman, if you've got some or ability to help us in that, come on down. You can help us grow too to add it. Let's go. We'd love it. You guys are a trip, man. All right, let me tell you about Murias Dental. We love talking about them because they are the implant and Invisalign experts, man. And here's the number, 305-821-0231. And if you've got some problems with your teeth like I do, and when you start seeing them get straightened out like I am every day, it is really amazing when it comes to Invisaligns, or if you need implants, or if you need, let's say it's a root canal, which is painful, I know, but they do a great job there. Crown, filling, you're going to love it at Murias Dental. State-of-the-art equipment. In fact, you don't even leave for the implant. They make it right there. You won't leave with a crown and a temporary, and then you have to come back and take another day off work. No. At Murias Dental, they make the tooth right there and then. That's the state-of-the-art technology that they have. They take the electronic measurement, that digital imprint, then they go to the machine, and within a couple minutes, they come back with your tooth. It's freaking amazing. I've watched it personally happen. It is so cool watching that machine create the tooth. Awesome. 305-10231. Clean the teeth. Whatever you want to do, cavities, you're going to love it. State-of-the-art equipment, Murias family.
Tech title and $899 deal on approved credit offers and 11/10/19. Over 100 Toyotas are on the ground, and truckloads of new 2020s just keep coming. To eliminate all 2019 models, Toyota of Hollywood is holding the ultimate 2019 model year changeover event. Make us an offer, and you can buy a Toyota at up to 50% less than their original MSRP when new and used. 50%? The 19 Corolla LE, not $22,000, $12,775. Pay up to % less at Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer, based on total retail sales of new Toyotas in the Southeast region for 2014 to 2018 per SCT on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
Thinking about buying or refinancing a home? Act now. Home values are ticking up. Don't put off making a move any longer. Call Michael Kodsey now at Choice Mortgage Bank, 561-441-2730, while mortgage interest rates are still at historical lows. Call now to get pre-approved and buy your dream home. If you're currently paying over $800 a month for rent, call 561-441-2730 now before interest rates go up. Down payments as low as 3.5%. Veterans may qualify for no money down. If you own a home, but you're upside down, Michael Kodsey can help. If you're being denied by your bank or your loan process is taking too long, call 561-441-2730. Act now while fixed rates are still under 3.5%. Offices in Boca and Boynton Beach. Rates and terms subject to change daily without notice. Equal housing lender. NMLS 122081.
No one expects to get into a crash, but I expect you to go to accidentlawfirm.com if you do. Make sure when hiring a driver, you go through a rideshare app so that you can be covered by the insurance, which can be up to $1 million whether you're a passenger or a driver. In other words, don't try to save a few bucks by paying cash instead of going through the app. I'm attorney Bobby Nunez from Nunez Law in Miami, and we're here to help you through the process. Go to accidentlawfirm.com for information from me, Bobby Nunez. That's accidentlawfirm.com.
America's safest and best-selling compact luxury SUV is at Acura of Pembroke Pines, and this is how we do it. RDX, $339 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
The world's biggest band is coming twice. Metallica. Headlining the Welcome to Rockville Music Festival. 2 different nights, 2 different sets. The weekend of May 8th through the 10th. Go to welcometorockvillefestival.com for all information. Get your tickets on sale right now. The one, the only Metallica. Go to welcometorockvillefestival.com.
This is the Big O Show. 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 Big O Show.
Well, that's what they say. Thank you for hanging in there. Those of you that were able to hang in there, we appreciate it. As always, thank you for your amazing support. We're out here at beautiful Caneswear in Davie. We'll be out here till 3 o'clock if you want to come on by and say hi.
Hate this place, man. Just want one of everything.
Everything, right?
That's all. Just one. Mm-hmm. Not greedy.
Brett created a place that is just intoxicating.
You walk in, it's just like your eyes go here and there, and it's just like, you know what I mean? Catch up, slow down, stop, look at that, you know?
Number one baseball team, you want to wear the classic. The classic. Yeah, you got the number one baseball team in the country.
And show the back because I always wear reverse usually.
Yes, there you go.
Yeah, man.
You got the U in the back.
Love that thing in the back.
Look at that. And check it out. In gray. Look how sweet that one is, huh? That one looks awesome.
I like that a lot.
Huh? The gray. And then, of course, you got the logo in the back. Check this out also at Caneswear. Remember, you can go to caneswear.com and you can order online and have it delivered to your house within a couple days. This one is so cool. Huh? The U. And then you got the U in the back, right? You got your Adidas on the side. But the U is awesome, right? Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
This is a new one that they have.
I was going to say I've never seen that.
Yeah, they have it in orange also. So if you want to buy the orange one, you can do it. You can buy it in green. And they've got all the different styles. I mean, they've got so many different UM hats. It's what Bill says. That's the part you're going to hate because you're going to want to buy so many different things. Go online. You can check it out also online. And, of course, when you do, tell them that Big O sent you. And tell Brett and all the amazing people out here, Jeff, everybody that we sent you out here. And they will take care of you. Trust me, man. Good people out here at Caneswear. If you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, it's 786-322-1105. That's 786-322-1105. If you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, let's see, what else do we have here? One guy says, you are the best on the accidentlawfirm.com text line. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate that. He's asking, the initial question was, I'm 31 years old, and my father would always listen to Neil Rogers all the time. I remember him always talking about him when I was a kid, and listening to you play some clips of the sound bites he had is absolutely awesome. Big O, you're truly a national treasure to us all down here and to the fans of Real Sports Radio. Do you have any Neil Rogers stories to tell? I searched for some of your old stuff on YouTube from way back and was only able to find one short clip of you being a guest calling into a show way back. Yes, I forgot what it was that I called in for. With Neil, I can't tell you anything personal because there isn't anything. I would be lying to you to tell you that I hung out with Neil and all. And Neil was an introvert. And while he was, bombastic on air and funny as hell and all that good stuff, he wasn't really the guy that you were going to go have a beer with and hang out and even watch the hockey games that he loved or any kind of game with him. That just wasn't his thing. He didn't hang out with us. But there were a few times that I did talk to him, a couple times that, we were in the same elevator or something along those lines. The only thing I could tell you is, I could say a couple of other things, and maybe stuff will come to mind over the next few months or weeks as I start to think about it. But the one thing is, you could always tell when he was in the building, and he didn't have to be around. You just kind of knew the vibe was going on because people wanted to know what the hell he was talking about. So it was on their radios by their desks, because remember, we didn't have computers like listening. We didn't have listen live lines on computer or anything like that early in the tenure. So it was just one of those things that it was interesting to see how that guy had a hold of and the attention of a lot of people in town, and because of that, people gravitated to him and gave him the dirt on anything and everything going on. And so somehow or another, you found out about a lot of stuff through that show because he ended up getting, a lot of information because so many people were just glued to the radio, tuning into everything that he was saying. But yeah, he was one of a kind, man. One of a kind. There will be no other Neil Rogers ever again. That guy is a talent on his own. And most of us will never get to that level. I know I never will. Okay? That guy is just crazy. That was crazy talent is what I mean by it. I didn't mean by crazy. I meant by crazy talent. But it was, for those of us that lived it, we really got a nice little thrill out of it, man. The Dolphins taking Herbert second round like that, or even better third if he drops. He ain't dropping to that far, bro. Herbert is way too talented. He's too intoxicating as a talent. I don't think that'll end up happening. Anyway, let me tell you a couple other things that I want to get into here on the program. We got I have so many things now that I think about it. It's 12:46. We're gonna have Dalton Del Don at 1:00 to talk a little fantasy basketball. So we'll get into a little if you have any fantasy basketball questions for yourself, by the way, please send them in, and we will ask him those fantasy basketball questions. I'll give you a lazy article that I saw, and there's some truth to it, but I also think that there is some smoke and mirrors to it. So the XFL ratings dipped in week 2, right? It said the XFL had strong ratings in week 1 in its 19-year hiatus. Now week 2 weren't as strong. According to Jack Russell of the Washington Post, week 2 ABC games drew an average of 2.127 million on Saturday for the Guardians and Defenders, and an average audience of 2.397 on Sunday for the Renegades and the Wildcats, which, by the way, that was a good game. That was a fun game to watch. Saturday's XFL debut on ABC, featuring Seattle and the Defenders, generated a 3.3 average. The reduction from one Saturday to the next, starting at 2 instead of 3, was 1.1 million, which equates to 35%. Can I tell you why that's a little deceiving? And let me take out the stats on Monday because I have them here. The thing that people didn't take into account is that the Seattle game drew 29,000 people this past week. And they had a big crowd last week too, in the first week. The Seattle market is a little stronger than average markets in this league, and normally, look how they support their Seahawks. They support the Sounders. They still go to Mariners games, and the Mariners suck. Okay? All right? So let's be honest here. 29,000 for the Dragons. The other games, the Defenders had 15. The Wildcats had 14-7. and the Roughnecks had 17-1. So that game that had a 3.3 was a Seattle game. Now, let me continue reading the rest of the article. This is I just want to, because I actually watch the games. So, those people that don't watch the games, if you don't watch it, it's hard for you to really comment on what's going on. So the Sunday week 1, okay, ABC ESPN game was televised by ESPN. It drew 2.5 million viewers. Week 2 Sunday game experience, less of a dip, only 103,000. So what do you think about that? Why? Because both games were on an even level playing field. When you have Seattle, you have a little bit of an advantage in this league because you have a bigger fan base that is watching in Seattle. And that helps a little bit, not overall. It's not going to help the overall number that much, but I think the drop or the difference wasn't nearly as bad as people make it out to be because Seattle has such a draw right now. I mean, hey, man, 29,000 for an XFL game, that's pretty damn good, dude. Okay? I mean, think about it. It's not like basketball and hockey games are drawing 29,000. So that's impressive. That's not too bad.
You know, it makes no sense, man. Every time you talk about Seattle and their fan base and the way they support their teams,
great.
How in the hell did they lose the Supersonics?
Oh no, that was, remember, they didn't want to pay for the arena. So it was one of those things that it wasn't going to be privately funded. They wanted help from the public, and the public wasn't willing to do it. It was kind of like the Browns.
Right.
The Browns fans never deserved to lose the Browns, but because they had built the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and the Indians ballpark, the public said, no, we don't have money for your football
spread
team.
Too thin, yeah.
And we left. And so we're out of here. And so it wasn't really we know it wasn't the Browns fans' fault. They've always shown up, dude.
Oh, Modell had to leave without the name. He had to leave the name.
Right. So the dog pound was always strong. It wasn't we never can blame the crappiness of the Browns on the fans. They are great, 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 great fans, man. They're rabid. You guys are awesome. Okay, I don't even know if I have one Cleveland fan watching, but you Browns fans are freaking awesome. And the Sonics fans also got screwed. So it wasn't really about the fans. It was more about the politics behind it. That's all.
Is it safe to assume the NBA expands?
Oh, no, it's going again.
Seattle would probably be
It's already there.
Yeah.
It's already there. It's already there. I can already tell you, just expand to Seattle and Vegas, bro. That's all. I mean,
another trip to Vegas? I love the idea.
No, but the part that I don't understand, Bill, is how is the NBA not the first team in Vegas? How in the world did hockey there before basketball? Which was like so anti-gambling and all that. And the NBA has been in Vegas for a while now. And they've had I wouldn't mind that. That'd be pretty cool. It's a great way to spend some time in Vegas. So, yeah, that's kind of what it was about. But the XFL, it's funny. Yesterday we did that piece and tweeted it out. The Roughnecks actually retweeted it. They saw the post and they retweeted it. And I tell you, PJ Walker from the Houston Roughnecks, that kid's must-see TV, man. He's fun to watch. I don't care what anybody tells me. That guy, I want to see him play quarterback when he's ever fell. Every single week. I love what that guy's doing. But I saw that article, and I get that there was a little bit of a dip. The attendance, 10%. Again, why? Seattle. Seattle helps out. But again, there wasn't the kind of drop-off that we've seen in the past with the other leagues. So maybe they got a chance to start to sustain this a little bit more. We'll find out as the weeks go on now. How many of you out there that are watching on YouTube are actually watching the XFL?
Look, if you guys aren't watching, in all honesty, give it a ride, man. Give it a try.
If you're a football
Serious.
fan. If you're a football fan.
It's actually pretty good. I love some of the things they've instituted. The changes. It's awesome.
Yeah.
And it's a faster pace. It's, and the sideline interview thing, that insight, there's a lot of really cool things going on with the XFL.
Yeah.
Plus, man, there's a lot of big hits.
Yeah.
I got to say.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. No doubt. I'm going to trust the process with the Finns. They have McKenzie and Marvin Allen to draft the players. I like that. Hey, man, that's you got to like Chris Greer because he's the guy that brought in Flores. He's the guy that brought in McKenzie and Marvin Allen. He's a guy that doesn't have an ego. He wants what's best for the Dolphins. He wants to do the best job possible. And Chris Greer was smart enough to surround himself with really good people overall. And you have to say that the hiring of the head coach has been absolutely genius. I mean, so far in the first year, Flores looked fantastic, man. He did an awesome job. Remember, if you have any fantasy basketball questions, send them in on the YouTube chat board. Send them in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line 786-322-1105. Don't forget to also give us a thumbs up on the YouTube broadcast. Also, share the link with a friend on text. Maybe they don't know about the show. Share it on Facebook, Twitter, anywhere on social media. So more and more people find out about the show. Appreciate that. We are here at Caneswear, and there was a Cane in the news yesterday. Greg Olsen, baby. Now, it's kind of bittersweet for me because Greg Olsen is like one of the best dudes you'll ever see, right, in football. He's just a great guy. Does a lot of charitable work. He's just a phenomenal individual. Like when I grow up, which I don't know if I'll ever grow up, but if I ever did grow up, I would like to be Greg Olsen because he's that kind of guy that you admire. Family guy, good dude, great player, all that stuff. But I will tell you this. I cringe a little bit because he's had so many injuries. And because I think he's really smart, I think he saved enough money that he probably doesn't need this. And, oh, by the way, caveat, he is one of the color announcers in the XFL, Greg Olsen. I'm not sure if you know that, but he is one of the guys on the broadcast team as the color announcer. But he ends up signing with the Seahawks. And Greg, never won a championship with the Bears, obviously, never won one with the Carolina. And so now he goes to Seattle. I saw the picture yesterday right away with Russell Wilson, which was really cool. He signs a one-year deal for $7 million. $5.5 million of it is guaranteed. And I got to say, man, I'll definitely be pulling for Seattle and for Greg Olsen because he's such a good dude overall. But I'll also be doing a lot of praying for him. I want to see him end this final season for him in a healthy fashion. He was pretty much healthy last year coming back from the other injury. So, it's just one of those things. But I thought it was really cool to see him, sign with the Seahawks because at least he's signing with a team that has a legitimate shot at a title. Okay? You got a championship coach. You definitely got a championship quarterback. You got a magician at quarterback. And if you could get the right pieces around him, and Lord knows he needed help at tight end, and Greg still has a little bit of gas left in the tank. There's no doubt. The only reason I would like to see Greg Olsen retire, it's because I don't want to see Greg Olsen break down again. You know what I mean? It's just like, I get the guy that needs it badly and doesn't have the money and maybe doesn't have the brains for it and all that. I watch Greg Olsen breaking down the XFL games and all that. He's got the personality. He can deliver it. He can move on in the NFL booth one day or do it for a college team if he wanted to. You know what I mean? So he's got a future. He doesn't have to necessarily depend on football. But, hey, look, man, we all want to do what makes us happy. And just like what we were talking about yesterday with Ozzy, that I hope he's able to recover and go do what he loves. Hey, Greg Olsen's doing what he loves. You know what I mean?
Is it kind of puzzling the Seattle, because you remember when Jimmy Graham went over there? Their tight ends are not like those receiving solely type tight ends. They're more blocking than receiving tight ends. Did it make sense picking up Greg? I mean, look, he can block. There's no. He's
but he's there to catch.
But exactly.
But they don't have one. That's why.
But they don't really use the receiving tight end.
They do. No. They do use them. They just haven't had good ones lately.
Yeah, but
That's
remember when Jimmy Graham was over there?
Jimmy Graham's not the best route runner, bro.
He's just the big guy and going for the rebound.
He's the athlete.
The rebound, yeah.
Okay. Olsen is...
No, he does it. He's a complete tight end.
Olsen is a true tight end.
Yes.
And it's not that Jimmy isn't, but Jimmy's a converted tight end. And so it's more of the athlete that's running into a space or an area or whatever. But if you want precise route running and all that stuff, that's probably not what you're getting Jimmy Graham for. He's an athlete. He'll make plays, and he's done it. He's made plenty of plays in the NFL. He's had a really good career overall in the NFL. But Greg Olsen is a much more cleaner player when you add him to your roster, and that would be my assessment of the difference between the two. Armed Ape says, I met Greg Olsen years ago when he was at the U. Ran into him once on Sunday at Cazola's down 17th Avenue in US 1. Big dude and really cool. Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah, no doubt. He's a good guy, man.
I had to mention Casola's, man. Those monster slices of pizza.
Yes.
And the chicken wings. I don't know if we always got pizza, but I have, back in the day on the dock, Port of Miami, we'd send somebody and get a bunch, and, man, their chicken wings are like gargantuan.
Yeah. No, they're good. They're good. And their pizza, obviously. I'm going to be down there today. I'm going to be down in the Coral Gables area for a couple of meetings right after this. Maybe I'll stop by.
Cazola stop. You know what? I think about it. Anytime I'm in that area, I do at least stop in and grab a piece of pizza. At least a piece of pizza.
Okay. All right. I like it. Big O, you are an inspiration to me, bro, and what I'm trying to do. Big O, I had an interview with Justin Herbert. I would love for you to check it out. Maybe you will look at Herbert in a different light. Okay? Send me the link, bro. Send me the link, and I'll check out the interview with Justin Herbert.
We need to get ready for fantasy basketball.
All right, Dalton Del Don. Normally it's Andy Behrens joining us every week, but Andy he's jet setting, he's vacationing. He went to Europe. He dumped us, which I would dump me too if I could go to Europe and go hang out.
Dude, that guy spends more time traveling than he does anything else.
Yeah, I hope he's not going to Asia. Anyway, what's it called? Dalton Del Don, who is also in Yahoo and is partner in crime in the podcast. And we've had Dalton on our show actually in the past. Dalton has been kind enough to step in and pinch hit for Andy Behrens. So if you have any fantasy basketball questions, you need to send them in right now on our YouTube chat board or on Twitter at Big O Show or on our accidentlawfirm.com text line 786-322-1105. Dalton Del Don next.
Thinking about buying or refinancing a home? Act now. Home values are ticking up. Don't put off making a move any longer. Call Michael Kodzie now at Choice Mortgage Bank, 561-441-2730, while mortgage interest rates are still at historical lows. Call now to get pre-approved and buy your dream home. If you're currently paying over $800 a month for rent, call 561-441-2730 now before interest rates go up. Down payments as low as 3.5%. Veterans may qualify for no money down. If you own a home, but you're upside down, Michael Kodzie can help. If you're being denied by your bank or your loan process is taking too long, call 561-441-2730. Act now while fixed rates are still under 3.5%. Offices in Boca and Boynton Beach. Rates and terms subject to change daily without notice. Equal housing lender. NMLS 122081.
No one expects to get into a crash, but I expect you to go to accidentlawfirm.com if you do. Make sure when hiring a driver, you go through a rideshare app so that you can be covered by the insurance, which can be up to $1 million whether you're a passenger or a driver. In other words, don't try to save a few bucks by paying cash instead of going through the app. I'm attorney Bobby Nunez from Nunez Law in Miami, and we're here to help you through the process. Go to accidentlawfirm.com for a free consultation from me, Bobby Nunez. That's accidentlawfirm.com.
The world's biggest band is coming twice. Metallica. Headlining the Welcome to Rockville Music Festival. 2 different nights, 2 different sets. The weekend of May 8th through the 10th. Go to welcometo-rockvillefestival.com for all information. Get your tickets on sale right now. The one, the only Metallica. Go to welcometo-rockvillefestival.com.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
All right, we are back.
This is the Big O Show.
We take you, of course, till about 3. And we're out here at Caneswear, baby. We're out here every single month at Caneswear at Miami Fanwear, 2511 South University Drive in Davie. Come on out and say hi. Oh, we've actually had several listeners come by and say hi. Some of them are picking up some pizza here next door, too.
John and Nico are missing, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Oh, John, Nico, you guys are slacking. You're not coming by. Anyway, we told you that we're going to talk a little fantasy basketball. Dalton Del Don from Yahoo Fantasy. You can follow him on Twitter at Dalton Del Don, like I and so many others do. If you have a fantasy basketball question, send it in right now on the YouTube chat board, on Twitter at Big O Show, on our accidentlawfirm.com text line, 786-322-1105. Dalton, how you doing, my brother?
Doing well. Thanks for having me, guys.
It's always good to have you on, my man. First of all, let's get into the Reggie Jackson buyout. That is I was happy about a week and a half ago when they made the trade for Drummond, because I made the investment in Wood, and I think it's going to start. The Reggie Jackson move, how does it pay off? What moves do we need to make or take advantage of?
Christian Wood, good job stashing him. He's going to be a monster the rest of the way. Reggie Jackson moving to L.A. It's bad news for goes in deeper leagues with Patrick Beverly and Shamet. But good news for Bruce Brown is my target to pick up in fantasy leagues. Guy averaged a triple-double once in summer league. I mean, fantasy leaguers have been waiting for him. He's just been tantalizing at times, out there in like 85% of Yahoo leagues. So Bruce Brown is a big beneficiary. If you're in a competitive league, I'd go at him. Derrick Rose, his usage rate goes way up when Reggie Jackson's out too, so he'll benefit. And then maybe Luke Kennard as well. But Bruce Brown's a guy that had my eye on, rushing to the waiver wire to grab.
Okay, all right, and so Reggie will be killing it. Kyrie Irving is killing a lot of people because there's another shoulder injury now with him. What's the latest?
I should point out Reggie Jackson's fantasy value definitely hurts with the move. I mean, Detroit, let's let him go crazy. Now the Clippers are obviously loaded, so it really hurts him. Yeah, Kyrie, aggravated that shoulder injury. My guess, at this point, it'd just be a surprise if he plays again. And that benefits Spencer Dinwiddie and Caris LeVert. As he got up to a disappointing start, but it made sense coming off such a catastrophic leg injury last year. He'd been a hot fantasy pickup regardless, but with Irving out of the way possibly, that is just great news for him. So Dinwiddie, a popular DFS player whenever Irving's out, but it looks like that might extend to the rest of the season. So Dinwiddie and LeVert, the big beneficiaries there. The Nets, 7th place in the East. Irving, it's always something with him. Obviously, Durant's not returning this year, so just makes sense to me that team just, pays most attention to next season.
All right, the cat injury, what do you hear?
Yeah, it's still kind of unclear, but man, I'm going to the waiver wire and I'm grabbing Naz Reid. He has really good per 36-minute numbers, actually like top 25. This year, James Johnson, the old Diley veteran, he's putting up numbers too. So I don't have a definitive timetable for Anthony Towns, but who knows with him? It does not. It's very, very. It's unclear. But the other ramifications there, D'Angelo Russell will just go nuts. In the meantime, his usage rate will be among top 10 in the NBA. Was with the Warriors, and in the very small sample without Cat on the court in Minnesota, it's been top 10 as well. So D'Angelo Russell is going to be a fantasy monster. Assuming they don't shut him down as well.
All right, the Rockets are going with small ball, and now Covington is actually eligible in other places now. Tell us a little bit about this.
I love Robert Covington in category league just because he's so good at the steals and blocks. And he started at center the other night in the box score. I wasn't sure because P.J. Tucker was out there too. But that actually made him center eligible right away in Yahoo Fantasy League. It really gives him some nice position flexibility. I think he's the upside to be a top 15 fantasy player in category leagues in his new environment. It's really helped Russell Westbrook as well. It just clears out the bigs, and he's just attacking the rim like his prime. So it's a fun, exciting team. They may lose double-digit rebounds nightly, but they really might provide 3 top 20 fantasy players on the same team down the stretch, and that's pretty cool.
I like it. All right, so Dalton, obviously we are about to start the second half. A lot of us are trying to straighten out our teams, possibly sneak into the playoffs. What kind of pickups do we have this week that you would suggest?
All right, so I mentioned Naz Reid in Minnesota. I mentioned Bruce Brown in Detroit. If Marquise Chris from the Warriors is not already owned in your league, rush and run out to get him. Since they converted his 2-way contract into a 2-year deal, he just looks so much more comfortable. Obviously, a real thin front court there. And a former lottery pick, he just looks fantastic. Damian Lee in Golden State as well. Although Curry is eventually going to return. Malik Monk is the hot pickup right now on Fantasy Wires. Charlotte, he admitted he was not ready to be in the NBA last year, just 24% owned in Yahoo League. But the light bulb has gone on for Monk, and he just looks great. So I'd be adding him anywhere he's still available.
What do you do with the Thomas Bryant and Wagner Wagner situation? I'm sorry, Bryant and Wagner. How do you handle that? How do you look at that?
Yeah, Bryant is a guy with the upside of being a top 3-round type fantasy player, but obviously the injury situation there. He's more of a guy that I'm looking more for next year. And one thing I will point out with Washington is Bradley Beal is another shutdown candidate too that I would worry about. Just obviously that team fighting for one of the top lottery picks. So I wish I had more clarity in Washington and the bigs there. And I could tell you about 3 weeks ago I recorded a video saying Thomas Bryant is my buy low for the second half, but it's clear he's just not going to be physically right for the rest of the year. So sadly he's a drop. But it's a fun situation there for fantasy terms in Washington because they have one of the league's worst defenses, yet one of the fastest paces. So whoever does get the minutes there on a nightly basis in your DFS lineup usually puts up big numbers.
And by the way, the Reid pickup, is that more for DFS, or is that something that you think it'll be more of an impact for the entire stretch for the second half, or just while Cat is out?
That's more so just while Cat is out, but I think the upside is there because, again, you look at the per minute numbers, and it's possible James Johnson ends up being the better ad, but you look at the more upside in category leagues with the defensive numbers, Reid is the guy if you're in a deeper league. But that's definitely going to just depend on Towns' availability. If Towns does return to health, then Reid would be an immediate drop. But if you're in a competitive league and looking for upside, in a deeper format, Reid is the guy that's out there in about 75% of leagues.
There you go. Dalton Del Don from Yahoo Fantasy. Follow him on Twitter at Dalton Del Don. What are you guys working on over there in Yahoo so our folks can get an edge on the competition, my brother?
Yeah, follow me on Twitter at Dalton Del Don. And baseball's fired up for Yahoo Fantasy. I mean, it's baseball time, so a lot of baseball in my mind. But second half of basketball, yeah, I mean, the All-Star game was fun, watching the guys play defense in the fourth quarter. So come on over and win your second half of your fantasy basketball league.
There you go. Dalton, I appreciate you taking some time, my brother, because, Andy Behrens chose to slack off this week. So you picked it up and knocked it out of the park, my friend. I appreciate you.
Yeah, appreciate you having me, guys. Thank you.
All right, my man. Be good. There you go. Dalton Del Don. He wanted no part of the conversation while I'm calling Andy a slacker. None whatsoever. I love it. All right, good stuff by Dalton Del Don. So did you keep Covington?
Yes, I did.
So he's going to be center eligible now.
Awesome. Ta-da.
Because that small lineup in Houston, they're putting him at center. That is pretty cool.
You know, it makes sense.
That becomes a huge advantage, man. And he carries that position over into next year's draft, even though he may not even play it for the team he's at next year. But that becomes a bonus on why you draft him also next year, because he's eligible at center.
You
That's
know what?
crazy.
The thing that Houston's trying to do, man, it's kind of interesting, and it has obviously the first night it worked against the Lakers, but in a 7-game series, man, and they're able to dissect and get in there.
Yeah.
That's where it's going to be an issue.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Speaking of basketball, since we were talking about a little fantasy basketball at this moment, let's get into a little bit of Chris Bosh. I don't know if you guys saw this, but Chris Bosh is not happy about him not being a finalist for the Hall of Fame. Now, let me explain something. I think Chris, there's no doubt in my mind, has a point on being pissed off about this. The question is, why is he left off? Now, could it be because of the whole Kobe thing and they want to kind of keep it kind of limited to a couple guys and maybe focus in on the Kobe thing and make it something special, and hey, we can put off, Bosh for another year, which you can. He's still going to get in. I mean, he's got the stats. The stats are there. I don't need to tell you. In fact, in this article, they even wrote a great part of this stat for him. Bosh is one of 13 players in NBA history to average 19.2 points and 8.5. That included at least 11 All-Star selections. The other 12 that have done it, Kareem, Wilt, Karl Malone, Shaq, Barkley, Moses Malone, out that Chris Bosh is a Hall of Famer. 11 All-Stars, 2 titles. I mean, there's no way you can argue the way he played, the clutch moments. He owns the biggest rebound, the biggest assist, and the biggest block in Miami Heat history. Okay? And so there is no argument here. Now, they did it because of the Kobe thing. There's no doubt. But I also want to tell you this. If Bosh, let's just for craps and giggles, he doesn't have the blood clot and he's able to finish his career out. First, he wouldn't be eligible right now because he might still be playing right now. This might be one of his, final years in the league. But there is no doubt in my mind that the blood clot is what also created this whole mess and why he's not in now. And, he goes on to say in this article, let me read it for you. He goes, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm a competitive man. I've been competing my whole life. A lot of people don't really know that about me, but I'm a fierce competitor. Losing bothers me. Coming up short bothers me. It always has. Since the moment I started playing basketball, it kind of bleeds over into everything that I do. So I'll just go ahead of this and tell you and hear it from me. I'm disappointed. Okay? One of the things that people like to say is, next year, Bosh says. What if there's not a next year? That's something that I think about every day. And I hope you think about it as well, because if there's not a tomorrow, what does that even mean? That is a definite question. That has to be on my mind quite a bit, but I just have to be honest with you guys. I'm very disappointed. And listen, for a guy that has 5 stents in his heart, I can reason with Chris Bosh on, I don't know if there's a tomorrow. This is a guy that's had multiple blood clots. This is why when adversity, you know what we talked about at the beginning of the show with adversity? So what do? Do you give in to adversity? Do you succumb to it? Do you say, oh, woe is me? And do you just crawl into a shell and then eventually you die and you wither away? No, you fight. You fight. That's what you get up and you try to come. That's what we do in life every single day. And for Chris Bosh, competitor, where he belongs and what he deserves. And he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. He belongs in the Hall of Fame. And yes, he will eventually get in next year. Wait another year because of a blood clot, because of a Kobe celebration. That's wrong. It's wrong. But there's no doubt in my mind that both things came into play here. And, Duncan and Garnett, the other two, I get it. You put those guys even over Bosh. So they kind of put the super no-brainers, even though Bosh is a no-brainer. And they said, all right, we're going to limit it to that so we can kind of focus and celebrate Kobe and all that other stuff. And I don't have a problem with that. But you are cheating a man out of what he deserves. Now, Chris Bosh is not the first guy to get cheated. Is not the first guy that has to wait to get into the Hall of Fame when he deserves it. So I also can't paint a picture like this is a first. Nobody ever does this to players. No, it's been done many, many times over. Happens practically every year. Right? But I do understand the dejection, the disappointment that Chris Bosh feels. Not that I can relate to it because obviously I'm not a Hall of Famer in anything, but I can relate to him being hurt and saying, hey, man, I deserve this. I earned this. I belong there with the rest of those guys. And he does. So I hope, he gets to enjoy that moment next year with his family. But there's no doubt in my mind. Think about this, okay? Wade leaves. Bosh takes over. There's no blood clot. That team wouldn't be too bad. That team was going to be pretty damn good. And Bosh was going to get his opportunity to be the lead guy. That would have been really cool, ladies and gentlemen, to see what Bosh would have done as the lead guy, which would have also enhanced everything he did. But he suffers the blood clot, he suffers the health issues, and they steal the rest of his career away. That blood clot stole the rest of his career away. And so he never got to add another chapter because think about this. He did it for what was it, 7 years, I think, in Toronto. And he got to the playoffs, but really didn't make much of an impact. Then he comes and joins LeBron and Wade and Ray Allen, and they go on to win multiple titles. And then he would have gotten an opportunity to be the lead guy again, but with Pat Riley running the show. And that might have set him up again to maybe, who knows, make a deep run, get to another finals, possibly win one. And you know that he becomes like one of those no-brainer guys that Tim Duncan and Kevin Garnett are. Right? And you can't, it's one of those where we can't deny him, we can't set him back. But because of the blood clot, because he kind of didn't get to complete his career, we can get away with pushing him back for a year. And that's not right either. But you think about the opportunity that he would have had being able to do what I told you. That would have been really cool. Got to feel for Bosh on that one, man. Really do.
When he played, there's no doubt he was a top 6-7 player in the world.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he was that dominating, and kind of give him some major props because of taking a back seat, you know what I mean, for the betterment of the team. When he came to Miami, there, you know, he was the third option, you know?
Yeah. No, I'm with you. No doubt. But I just I saw that story and I wanted to talk a little bit about it because I agreed with him. Sadly, I kind of understand what's gone on. Not that I agree with what went on. I agree with Chris Bosh. It's like, well, no, man, just put me in there. I belong in there. I'm a first ballot guy. And I hate the fact that he had the blood clot because obviously that set the heat back, and that was brutal, too, to deal with. I hated that he was even trying to come back from the blood clot. And it was kind of his part. I get it. He's trying to do what he loves. But damn, I mean, that's some serious stuff. You'd accomplish everything. And you know what? That he needed that end of the career so he would have no delays into getting into the Hall of Fame. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. All right, I got to take a break. All right, I got to rest my voice here. Let me take a quick break. We'll come back on the other side. If you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, 786-322-1105. That's 786-322-1105. If you're watching, you can chime in on the YouTube chat board. Make sure you give us a thumbs up. Share the link for the YouTube feed to your friends on text, Facebook, Twitter, whatever. Bill driving the program, Big O Show, live from Caneswear in Davie. Man.
America's safest and best-selling compact luxury SUV is at Acura of Pembroke Pines, and this is how we do it. RDX, $339 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
No one expects to get into a crash, but I expect you to go to accidentlawfirm.com if you do. Make sure when hiring a driver, you go through a rideshare app so that you can be covered by the insurance, which can be up to $1 million whether you're a passenger or a driver. In other words, don't try to save a few bucks by paying cash instead of going through the app. I'm attorney Bobby Nunez from Nunez Law in Miami, and we're here to help you through the process. Go to accidentlawfirm.com for a free consultation from me, Bobby Nunez. That's accidentlawfirm.com.
Thinking about buying or refinancing a home? Act now. Home values are ticking up. Don't put off making a move any longer. Call Michael Kodsey now at Choice Mortgage Bank, 561-441-2730, while mortgage interest rates are still at historical lows. Call now to get pre-approved and buy your dream home. If you're currently paying over $800 a month for rent, call 561-441-2730 now before interest rates go up. Down payments as low as 3.5%. Veterans may qualify for no money down. If you own a home, but you're upside down, Michael Kodsey can help. If you're being denied by your bank or your loan process is taking too long, call 561-441-2730. Act now while fixed rates are still under 3.5%. Offices in Boca and Boynton Beach. Rates and terms subject to change daily without notice. Equal housing lender. NMLS 122081.
Plus tax, tech title. It includes $8.99 dealer fee on approved credit offers and 11/10/19.
Over 1,500 Toyotas are on the ground, and truckloads of new 2020 Toyotas just keep on coming. To eliminate all 2019 models, Toyota of Hollywood is holding the ultimate 2019 model year changeover event. Make us an offer, any offer, and you can buy a Toyota at up to 50% less than their original MSRP when new and used. 50% less. A pre-owned 2019 RAV4, not $30,000, $19,775. A pre-owned 2019 Camry LE, not $26,000, $17,775. A pre-owned 2019 Corolla LE, not $22,000, $12,775. Pay up to 50% less at Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer, based on total retail sales of new Toyotas in the Southeast region for 2014 to 2018 per SET, on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight. The world's biggest band is coming twice. Metallica. Headlining the Welcome to Rockville Music Festival. 2 different nights, 2 different sets. The weekend of May 8th through the 10th. Go to welcometorockvillefestival.com for all information. Get your tickets on sale right now. The one, the only Metallica. Go to welcometorockvillefestival.com.
This is the Big O Show. 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 This is the Big O Show.
right, we are back. Coming to you live, baby, from Caneswear here in Davie. And, of course, 2511 South University Drive in Davie. And those of you out there, you know, these pop grips that you can add to your phones, there, Cane style. How about that? They've got the different styles. You can get the Ibis. You can get the one just with the U. Let me straighten it out there. There you go. It's a beautiful thing, man. Look at that. I love it.
You know what I haven't grabbed that they do have?
What's that?
The mint box that has the Ibis on it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's the one I was telling you about way back in the day.
I have the chapstick, the UM chapstick. That's,
huh?
Yeah, they have it there. They have it. It's over there, the chapstick.
Dude, this is stuff you're supposed to tell me, man.
And you still haven't gotten this shirt. This shirt is badass. See, I can even talk through the shirt. There you go. This 305 shirt is the bomb.
That with your Marlins hat or the one you just bought?
That Marlins hat, that 305 Marlins hat that I bought, it goes with this. In fact, we should tell Brett to go get that 305 Marlins hat and bring it here. Because that was badass. I bought a badass Marlins hat. Man, over at FanFest, it was awesome. It was awesome. I know I'm going to buy something before I leave. I guarantee you. If you're a Panthers fan, this is super cool. You should get this, Bill. Look at that. A St. Patty's Day Panthers. What do you think? St. Patty's Day. Huh? Badass.
That looks really cool.
That's badass right there. St. Patty's Day, get to buy that.
I was going to say, it's Kelly Green, perfect for my Irishness.
I'm telling you. That is a really cool jersey.
You know what is my typical St. Patrick's Day shirt?
Panthers, could you go kick ass, please? Please? Turn the corner one day. I need it, man. All right, go ahead. I'm sorry. It pains me, bro.
It pains
me, man.
It pains all of us, bro.
Yeah, because I know they're trying, and I know that the owners want to win, and it's not happening, and it pisses me off, man.
My typical St. Patrick's Day wear is my Hurricane baseball jersey. That unfortunately is Ryan Braun.
Yeah, I wouldn't wear that. I wouldn't wear that if you paid me. Seriously, I don't care. Still
Canes.
I don't care that he's a Cane, dude. The fact he tried to get somebody fired because he lied, that disgusted me, bro. I don't care that he screwed up. We just talked about this. Just say it, bro. I screwed up. That's it. I screwed up. I wanted to cheat. I tried to get an advantage. I embarrassed myself. But don't do the Lance Armstrong thing where you're trying to get other people fired to try to justify and hide your cheating. That's where Ryan Braun lost me, bro. That's it. You were trying to hurt a guy that is just a working stiff, bro, and ruin his reputation. Your ass, Ryan Braun, you don't care. Even if you're, treated different, you don't care. You got millions in the bank, and you'll be able to fine. The rest of us, we're working stiffs, man. We got to move on to a next job. And how does that guy move on when he's called a cheater and a liar and all that? He won't be able to get a job. And he wasn't that. I'm sorry. I got nothing for her.
That's total scumbag. That's lowlife.
Yeah. For me, Ryan Braun is a scumbag. Ryan Braun is a freaking lowlife. Okay? When you're trying to hurt somebody, look, we're all going to hurt each other, ourselves, I mean. But don't take other people down with you. Come on, man. Come on. Okay? You made a mistake. You screwed up. Live with it. Deal with it. Be better from it. Whatever. But you don't take somebody else down with you. And that, to me, Ryan Braun and Lance Armstrong, those guys are excommunicado in my book. That's what they are. Excommunicado, baby. Get the hell out. I don't want to hear from your ass ever again. I'm glad we're talking about this. I'm glad you brought up Ryan Braun.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. I'm glad you brought up Ryan Braun. No, I'm serious. I'm serious. You know I like music, right? I mean, you know I love music. I don't like music. I love music, right? So, Eric Clapton got together with some other artists to pay tribute to Ginger Baker, all right? The great Cream drummer, right? And he was there jamming in London. It was Clapton and friends celebrating the life of Ginger Baker. So footage has emerged of Clapton, Ronnie Wood, Nile Rodgers, and others jamming Blind Faith songs in a tribute to Ginger Baker. Do you know who was also there? Roger Waters was also there jamming with them. And so the performances took place February 17th at London's Everton Apollo Hammersmith, which is obviously one of those legendary places. I would love to go to Hammersmith one day for a concert, just to say I've been there for a concert, man, because I've heard so much about it, you know. I jam Motorhead at Hammersmith all the time. I've got that CD. Anyway, he died in October at the age of 80. So the show raised funds for the health and welfare charity of Leonard Cheshire, which Baker was a supporter of. The evening started with footage of Baker interview with a drum solo after Clapton, who played with Baker in both Cream and Blind Faith, and was joined by Pink Floyd's Roger Waters on bass for Cream's Sunshine of Your Love. Waters also contributed to versions of Cream's Strange Brew, White Room, joined on stage by former Faces guitarist Ronnie Wood and drummer Kenny Jones. Wood stayed around for Cream's Badge, while Chic's Nile Rodgers joined in for the party for I Feel Free and Tales of Brave Ulysses. I mean, this is pretty cool. Anyway, the set continued most of Blind Faith's debut album with Clapton, Rodgers, joined by Steve Winwood on organs, vocals, and guitar, Kofi Baker, Ginger's son, on drums. The entire cast gathered on stage for the encore version of Robert Johnson's Crossroad Blues, complete set list they have there, and well, whatever. I love all of this, okay? The only problem I had was Roger Waters. This guy's a stinking anti-Semite, okay? This guy's a pig, all right? Seriously. And I love Pink Floyd, but until, a few years back when Roger, came out and showed us his evil ways, I had tickets for the last Roger Waters concert a few years back and I didn't go to him.
American Airlines, I remember. I went.
I gave those tickets away.
I took my nephew.
I gave them away because I cannot support somebody that spews hate. I don't care what kind of hate it is. Whether you hate gays or you hate women or you hate Jews or you hate Baptists or Catholics or blacks or whites or greens or browns, reds, whatever, bro. I'm not that dude. I can't be around people like that. I can't work with people like that. I can't associate with people like that. And I'm certainly not going to support you. That's the only part of that. When I read that story, I cringed because it's like, all right, Eric, does he have to be there? Ronnie, does he have to be there? Right? Do you guys have to jam with this guy? Are you aware of him being a hateful person towards the Jewish community? I mean, I saw that story, and it's the same thing as Ryan Braun. It's just, once you have shown me what you are, I'm going to choose to do what I want to do now. And what I want to do is, I don't want to go to any Roger Waters concerts. I don't want to support Lance Armstrong in any way, shape, or form. I'm not supporting Ryan Braun. I don't give a rat's ass that he went to Coral Gables. Okay? Sorry. Just not doing it. I know who you are now. When you're that evil that you're willing to take down other people for your mistakes, that's disgusting. And a guy like Roger Waters, who's an anti-Semite, I got no room for that in my heart, bro. None. It just that was one story that while it's a cool thing that they did,
Oh, yeah.
I just wish they would have chosen. They didn't need him to be there, is my point.
Should have been a little bit more selective and taken things into consideration.
He wasn't in Blind Faith or in Cream.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's, hey, I love Nile Rodgers. I'm an enormous fan.
Oh, wow. How can you not be?
Technically, he doesn't have to be there either, you know what I'm saying? But nothing personal. What I'm saying is, it wasn't like you brought on this guy because he was. I know you brought him up because he's a musician, and so is Nile Rodgers. He's not a genius, not just a great musician. So you could have as easily as you could say Nile has nothing to do with our history. Roger Waters has nothing to do with our history. Man, just keep Rodgers out. Else, bring in Nile Rodgers, obviously, and bring in somebody else or Roger. Didn't you think that? Didn't the organizers, didn't Eric, didn't somebody bring it up like, hey, yo, this guy's anti-Semite. Why would we want to bring him together with us? Why do we want that kind of pub? You know? I'm just saying.
And considering the situation, you remember Los Angeles.
Yeah.
They was trying to do, and they shut that down.
Yeah, good.
You know?
Good.
I had never
Good.
seen Floyd. I had never seen Roger or what's his name? Gilmore. That was fresh from the situation with the Jewish community here locally. And I did have some reservations, and there was a little bit of a conscience I had never seen. And it was like, God, the fact that I've never seen Floyd, never seen any of these guys, that's ridiculous.
I got you.
Wait, speaking of which, Britt Floyd is coming to the second, somewhere around there. They're going to be at the Fillmore. I mean, if Floyd,
They do a really good job.
That girl that sings one of the songs from Dark Side of the Moon.
Oh, yes.
Where she goes with those
voice.
notes. Wow.
Yeah, her voice is awesome. Now, I am looking forward to seeing David Gilmour on his next tour if he comes to the U.S. for a couple dates, because he doesn't do a big tour. I will travel to go, because obviously he's not going to come here to South Florida. That I can already tell you. That's a sure thing. Now, Bill, let me give you something that you may want to go to. Okay? Because I'm thinking about it now, and I really want to go to it after I read this. Now, you saw Kiss's final tour, right? You just saw it, correct?
I did not go. But
you didn't?
No. You and Greep went.
Would you like to go to the last show ever?
Kiss's last show ever.
It'll be in New York.
Wow. That would be pretty cool.
No. You know what's cool? Don McGee, who has managed Kiss since '95, spoke to Polestar about the band's upcoming final concert, which is scheduled to take place in New York City, July 17th of 2021. Asked how the show will end and if there's any truth to the rumors that Kiss may bring on all the original members, Doc said, it's going to be great. It's going to be worthy of the end of the road. It'll be worthy to the 45 years of Kiss. The last month for sure. We want to celebrate everybody, and we might bring out all former band members. We'd like to. Nobody says we hate this guy, we hate that guy. We want everybody who wants to come out. Last November, McGee said that the living former members of Kiss have been approached about taking part in the Iconics group's last ever gig. It will be the final of a 2.5-year end-of-the-road world tour, which by the time it's finished will have taken more than 165 dates across several continents. In the months after Kiss announced End of the Road, fans wondered openly if original members Ace Frehley, Peter Criss would be involved in the tour, especially considering the apparent recent goodwill between Paul Stanley and Gene Simmons and Ace Frehley's last album, Spaceman, a title suggested by Simmons himself, featured 2 songs the pair wrote together, and the duo completed a joint summer 2018 tour of Australia after which Fraley fired his solo backing band and hired Simmons. McGee said during a question and answer session on the 9th annual KISS Cruise that KISS is opening to reuniting with former members at the final gig. We want to include everybody that's played with KISS to celebrate the 45 years of KISS. And everybody, Vinnie Vincent, everybody else that has played with KISS is part of this whole celebration of 45 years. So we're still looking at what we're going to do on the final show of KISS. According to McGee, Fraley and Chris have both been talking too about participating in some form, but he acknowledged it's pretty difficult when people say, oh, you should bring Ace and Peter up. How do you do that when you have 2 Catmen and 2 Spacemen? So you say, okay, you don't wear the makeup, you wear the makeup. And then Ace and Peter go, well, that was my makeup. I don't know. So it's real hard to do. So we'll figure it out because they're very much a part of the heritage of KISS, and they're acknowledged by Gene and Paul and everybody in this room as founding members. So it's important that you guys, and it's important to us, it's important a matter of balance that we can bring where it works for everybody and everybody's having a great time. Back in 2018, Fraley told Vintage Rock that the only way he would seriously consider taking part in the End of the Road is if I back my makeup and my costume and my character, which I designed. He added that current KISS guitarist Tommy Thayer is not a bad guitar player, but he basically just mimics everything I wrote and tries to imitate my persona. He's been doing it for 15 years, he said, but the reality is I'm the original guy, and nobody really can copy the way I play guitar. Asked if he would still consider participating in the tour, Chris was not involved. Ace says, I think it would be great if Peter is involved. Obviously, at this point in his life, he wouldn't be able to do a 2-hour show, but I can see if he worked out a situation where Peter came out at the end and did 3 or 4 songs, sang Beth, sang Black Diamond, and a couple of others, it would be fun. That would be awesome.
Dude, I would love to just see Peter Criss do Beth. That would be...
Well,
because we did get to see it.
My favorite KISS song is Black Diamond.
Oh, man. You want to...
Out on the streets for a living.
You want to go do this, don't you?
Oh, I'm going. No, I'm going.
You're going.
No, I'm going to that concert. I'm going to that concert. I don't even know if the tickets are available already for a concert that's a year and what... I don't know, 3 months away, 4 months away, whatever it is, 15, 16 months away. Yeah. I want to go to that concert.
There, got to. I didn't,
I saw the reunion tour years ago, and I've seen KISS, 20 times, dude. But if I could go to one night where everybody's there, okay, that would be really, really cool. And if Peter sings Black Diamond, I'll lose my freaking mind. That's all I can tell you. Okay? I will lose my mind if Peter plays, if Peter Criss plays Black Diamond. I mean, Beth obviously is awesome, but Black Diamond's my favorite KISS song. Always has been. Love it.
It would be the right way to finish because, that was like my first favorite rock band, little kid.
Yeah.
Most of us.
A lot of people.
Our age, yeah. It was KISS.
A lot of people. How about that, dude? Is that a concert or what? I gotta go. I gotta see that one. That one's gonna be a one to remember for a long time to come.
I can remember seeing the shots on YouTube of the stage and stuff like that, and I was so pissed that I didn't go when they were here at BB&T. And, yeah, to go see it, dude, I'm there. We're going.
Yeah, and I'm also, did you see about Primus's new tour? That is so cool what they're doing, bro. Primus is going to tour, and they're going to honor Rush by playing the entirety of Farewell to Kings, their 77 album, in this summer tour. So the show will open up with a set of Primus material, followed by a Farewell to Kings, the first Rush album Primus frontman and bassist Les Claypool heard. The idea was proposed to them last year, but was postponed after they got involved in a tour with Slayer. Claypool said that he received Geddy Lee's blessing for the tour. I text him. I keep in touch with Geddy just to make sure we weren't, trotting on something weird. Claypool told Rolling Stone. So I checked with him to see what he thought of it. He was excited about the notion. He thought it was a great idea. So Claypool first saw Rush on the Hemisphere Tour in '78, acknowledged that Neil Peart's recent death put an extra wrinkle into the proceedings. We were trying to be sensitive as possible as we can so it doesn't appear like we're jumping on, hey, a superhero has died, let's go out and tribute him type of thing, he noted. It's about admiration to these amazing musicians and friends. So, my follow-up is no South Florida date, but you do have an Orlando date at the Hard Rock Live. So there you go. And that'll be June 3rd. I got to go to that. I'm definitely going to go to that. Hell, I went to see Primus at Red Rocks, so it's slightly closer than Red Rocks. But I thought it was really cool that they're going to do an honor to Rush. And my prediction still stands. In the next year, you will eventually hear about Geddy Lee, Alex Lifeson, touring again. And they'll do some Rush material. You'll see. Maybe they do some stuff that they create on their own, but they're going to do some Rush. Because those guys, I got the feeling that Rush wrapped it up more because of Neil. That Neil was kind of done with it. And then their friendship and their bond, out of respect, are like, okay, we're done. Kind of what Led Zeppelin did. Bonham died, and they were like, there's no Led Zeppelin without Bonham, we're done. And everybody went on their way. And, I know that Page and Plant did a little, I saw the reunion when they did it and all that, but Led Zeppelin never really was ever going to get back together again. Just wasn't going to happen. And so I think you'll see some of that, but now that he passed away, I think they will change their minds because I think those two guys still have the bug to play. So I think it will happen when it's all said and done. I really do.
Well, I remember Zeppelin performing at the Atlantic Records 25th anniversary. And you remember Plant being kind of pissed off, the perfectionist that he is, because, you're using stuff that, and Genesis and, kind of a hodgepodge, trying to accommodate everybody type sound and equipment.
Right.
And you can see he really wasn't happy. And the way he finished, we'll see you again real soon. There was this hope. And obviously Jason would be, and as accomplished as he is, and the fact that it never actually happened, every time that Robert and Jimmy got together and did not include John Paul Jones, I on principle just like, this is not acceptable. By
the way, speaking of John Paul Jones, I think his band opens up. I think it's them Crooked Vultures are opening up for Primus.
That's John Paul Jones's band?
You didn't know that?
No.
Them Crooked Vultures?
Oh, man. What?
That's his band.
Yeah. Hey, Greep, if you're listening, I changed my mind. We're going to Orlando, all of us.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, man. Yeah, that's a must.
Mm-hmm.
Farewell to Kings. I haven't seen Primus. Yeah.
Oh, you've never seen Primus?
No, sir.
Oh, you should, dude.
Yeah, I got to. Yeah.
Yeah, you have to see that guy play bass live.
Oh, Claypool.
Oh my God. Wow. It's like nobody plays the bass like that. Nobody.
And this is Iron Maiden Steve Harris saying this.
It's different. It's different. It's what I'm saying.
Right.
They're both great in their own right and all that. There's, Flea's amazing. I mean, I can come up with several. Geddy Lee is an amazing bassist. But the way Les plays his bass, nobody plays it like that.
Okay.
Like it's just a masterful thing that you're like, wow, bro. The things he does, it's like, okay, you can see. it's a discussion that when somebody tells you Les Claypool is the best bassist ever, and you want to make an argument for several other guys like I do for Steve Harris or whatever, it's just an argument that's not worth going into because whoever says it has the right to say it because he's that good. It's all subjective. You know, when we get to the greatest, is it Eddie Van Halen? Is it Jimi Hendrix? Is it, whatever you want to get into, you're going to have an argument any which way possible in that argument, right? You could say, no, man, I think Eddie's the best. No, I think Jimi Hendrix is the best. Whatever, I think Eric Clapton's the best.
Nobody ever mentions Stevie Ray Vaughan. It's a different type of sound, but Stevie was amazing.
And if you want to say it, I can't argue with you about what am I going to do? Disrespect Stevie Ray Vaughan? Am I going to disrespect what I think is the greatest of all time, Jimi Hendrix? No, whatever. It's subjective. Les Claypool's that guy. That guy is a badass, bro.
Creep, if you're listening, I'm in, bro. I believe we got to get ready for Miss Kaufman.
Yes, we are going to talk a little Inter Miami. We do it every week. Michelle Kaufman from the Miami Herald will join us, and we will have a little fun with Michelle. We'll talk all things Inter next.
Plus tax, tech title. It includes $8.99 dealer fee on approved credit offers and 11/10/19. Over 1,500 Toyotas are on the ground, and truckloads of new 2020 Toyotas just keep on coming. To eliminate all 2019 models, Toyota of Hollywood is holding the ultimate 2019 model year changeover event. Make us an offer, any offer, and you can buy a Toyota at up to 50% less than their original MSRP when new and used. 50% less. A pre-owned 2019 RAV4, not $30,000, $19,775. A pre-owned 2019 Camry LE, not $26,000, $17,775. A pre-owned 2019 Corolla LE, not $22,000, $12,775. Pay up to 50% less at Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer, based on total retail sales of new Toyotas in the Southeast region for 2014 to 2018 per SCT, on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
Thinking about buying or refinancing a home? Act now. Home values are ticking up. Don't put off making a move any longer. Call Michael Kodsey now at Choice Mortgage Bank, 561-441-2730, while mortgage interest rates are still at historical lows. Call now to get pre-approved and buy your dream home. If you're currently paying over $800 a month for rent, call 561-441-2730 now before interest rates go up. Down payments as low as 5%. Veterans may qualify for no money down. If you own a home but you're upside down, Michael Kodsey can help. If you're being denied by your bank or your loan process is taking too long, call 561-441-2730. Act now while fixed rates are still under 3.5%.
Is coming twice. Metallica. Music Festival. Different nights, 2 different sets. The weekend of May 8th through the 10th. Go to welcometorockvillefestival.com for all information. Get your tickets on sale right now. The one, the only Metallica. Go to welcometorockvillefestival.com.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
All right, we are back to start off hour number 4. I can't believe we've already done 4 hours of, we've done 3 hours of radio already. We're about to do 4, and I have a whole bunch of things I never got to. Anyway, we're going to talk a little Inter Miami. We do it every week at the same time with the same person who does a phenomenal job of covering this team on a daily basis. The only outlet that's allowing them to travel, too, with the team, so they're covering them everywhere. She will be this Saturday in St. Pete to watch them take on the Tampa Bay Rowdies. She is Michelle Kaufman. You can follow her on Twitter like I and so many others do at Kauf Sports and catch her exceptional work there at the Miami Herald website. Michelle, good afternoon.
Hello, how are you?
I am doing great. I had a blast on Saturday, man. That was a lot of fun to watch the team.
I know it was.
Take the field,
yeah.
right?
It was nice to see you there, but it was bringing back memories, right, of the Fusion days.
Yes, you're right about that. And I was happy I was there. I got the money shot. We got the first goal in public, which was a beautiful thing. I was, the other thing that I was dying to do is to see the stadium, and I got to tell you something, man. That's a really nice little stadium that the Tampa Bay Rowdies have there.
Oh, that's beautiful. I mean, my husband Dave, who sat in the stands, he said, I don't know that I've ever been in a more beautiful, the view from there. You're sitting there watching soccer now, before it was baseball, and you are overlooking the bay. Of course, this is exactly what David Beckham wanted, which I put in the lead to my story.
Yes.
When he got here 6 years ago, he said he wanted an open-ended stadium overlooking the bay with the turquoise water and the sailboats and all that stuff. That's exactly what they have there. You're sitting there at the Rowdy Stadium with an open side, and you're looking out over the game, and then off in the backdrop of the game is Tampa Bay. And there was a sailing regatta going on. There were hundreds of sailboats out there. It was a glorious day, and it's a really beautiful sight to be watching sports literally on the waterfront.
It was a really beautiful thing. And by the way, the player that scored was finally announced. Have you ever seen that?
Several days later. No, that was so crazy. I mean, that was really just legalities and immigration things that they felt that they couldn't make any reference to him, even though Pizarro was at the practice on Friday. We saw him practice. We spoke to Paul McDonough, those of us that were there. We spoke to Paul McDonough at length about Pizarro. So the sporting director of the team is talking about the guy. The other players were talking about the guy. The guy was there at the practice. Then on Saturday, they put him in the game. He scores on his fourth touch. He scores the goal, the historic first goal. And then when you go on the social media for the team and their website and you get their press release, his name is not mentioned anywhere. His photo was nowhere. It just said, Philadelphia took the lead, that so-and-so scored, Sergio Santiago, and then Inter Miami tied it up in the 34th minute. And then in the second half, this happened. It doesn't say anything about the goal, nor did it have any pictures. And then on Monday, literally 3 days after he showed up at the practice and 2 days after he scores the historic goal, they sent a press release saying, oh, by the way, we signed Rodolfo Pizarro. And there's all these quotes about how great it is to have him. So it was very strange. Even my daughter noticed. My daughter, who's in college, she follows Inter Miami on Instagram, and she wrote me and she's like, Mom, what's going on that they're like hiding the player who scored the goal? And she knew that he scored because I had sent her a picture and I sent her my story. She goes, you had it right there in your story and there's pictures of him everywhere. Why are they hiding this guy? It looks very sketchy. She told me it looks very sketchy. So it was a bizarre situation that a team would have a guy for 3 days before they announce him. But it was really because of immigration and contract issues and whatever that, some specific paperwork apparently needed to be signed before they could officially announce him.
Yeah, no doubt. And they still have the other international player that they've got to sign, correct?
They're going to sign 2. They have 2 spots left. They're both going to be from abroad. They're both going to be international players. One of them will be a higher price player. That's the DP. And the other one will be another international player that won't be as expensive as the DP. But they have 28 players out of the 30. And the 2, Paul McDonough said that they have 2 puzzle pieces left that they're working on. So one of them, I know that they've been negotiating with Agustin Almendra from Boca Juniors. But they are up against, again, some European teams are now bidding for him pretty big. So that guy is one name that has come up. And then the big DP name is one that is still out there. And Cavani's name still comes up. that don't put that one away yet. That one could still happen.
Right. Okay. All right. That'll be interesting if it does happen. I mean, they got to add the juice to it because they're going to need that star quality here because that's the one thing that I keep hearing from fans when they ask me about it. I go, hey man, I don't see any big names yet, and it's our town. Michelle, and the beauty is that Jorge Mas knows this better than we do. He understands. He knows that they need stars. That's the one buzz that I think is missing from this team.
Right, that is true. However, I just posted a story that they're sold out for the opening game. The only way you can get tickets they sold out of all the season tickets. The single game tickets that went on sale yesterday in a pre-sale are already sold out. So the only way that you can go see the opening game at this point is if you buy season ticket package.
Wow.
So they've already sold out their first game, and the next two games are close. The second and third, they put the first, second, and third games on sale yesterday, pre-sale for single tickets, and the opening game sold out. There are limited tickets left for the second and third game.
That's awesome.
So star or no star, that stadium is not that big. It's 19,000. So, star or no star, I think they're gonna have a pretty good crowd there.
Oh no, I expected a crowd. I expect a buzz. I expect the support. All of that.
Right. But I hear what you're saying.
You know what's coming down the line.
People want the face.
Yes.
People want the face of the franchise. They want somebody that everybody knows Pizarro is very well known in Mexico. He's very well known like in Houston and LA and places where people pay attention to the Mexican national team in Chicago, areas where there are a lot of Mexicans, and people who watch the U.S. national team against Mexico obviously know who he is, or people who watch Liga MX. But for everyone else, for the fans here that are from Argentina, Colombia, England, Germany, France, whatever, Pizarro is not an everyday name. He's not a household name. So that's the name that we're still the name that every soccer fan would know is the one that's still missing.
Right. What's anything new developed so far this week?
Well, there's some brouhaha about the shirt sponsor because Qatar Airways is one of the candidates. They're negotiating with. They're looking at. They want their name sponsor and their shirt sponsor to be in the tourism industry because of Miami being the tourist hub that it is, and the idea is that this is going to be MLS's global team. That's kind of how they're going to be marketed, as the league's global team. So they are looking at cruise lines. There's a couple of cruise lines, airlines, and hotel chains. That's kind of the direction they're going for their shirt sponsor. The word is that Qatar, as you know, has more money than like the entire world put together. That's how they got the World Cup. They are bidding. They're bidding very, very, very big dollars, like serious big dollars to be the sponsor of this team.
Makes sense.
But it does make sense. But, Qatar is a country that has come under fire for human rights issues. The gay community, there may be some people not too thrilled with it. The Jewish community, there may be people not thrilled with it. Women, it's a place that does not have the best record as far as human rights with the workers that were building the stadiums and, poor people, women, gay, and Jewish. It's not a place that has a great record with those groups, and not like the United States anyway. So, yes, they are sponsors of many, many big teams around the world. Barcelona, as we know, was sponsored by Qatar Airways for 6 years before they switched in 2017. But they are now the sponsors of Bayern Munich. They're the sponsors of AS Roma. They're the sponsors of Boca Juniors. They are the official FIFA sponsor. They are the official airline sponsor of FIFA. They are hosting the next World Cup. And beIN Sport, which is based here in Miami, is owned by Qatar. So beIN Sport, the TV network, is owned by Qatar. So they have a lot of connections in sports, and particularly in soccer. And this would be one more. It's a sponsor that may come with a bit of controversy, as opposed to if it were some random hotel chain or cruise line. But the money that's being offered, I'm hearing, is enormous.
Yeah. No, I've same thing about the money being. But listen, Michelle, if asking to build 2 stadiums, bring 2 teams, fill it up with talent,
bring a DP. Bring a DP that we've heard of.
Right, and then bring us stars and all, and then, hey, brother, what do you think? This is done with, like, no money? This is, it's like I've got some people are like, hey, when are you going to add phone lines to the show so we can call in? I'm like, well, whenever you guys want to step up and, help build the studio for me and, help buy lines for me, all that, we add them and all that, but, it's easy to ask, but you got to provide somehow. You got to work for it. And so remember, they're not bringing 1 team, they're bringing 2. They're not building 1 stadium, they're building 2 stadiums. So it takes a lot of money to buy stadiums, 2 teams, and fill them up with players and all that stuff. And it's really nice to drive. You got to get it somewhere.
Yeah, that beautifulness up there is to the tune of about $130 million at this point.
That's right. So
now, keep in mind, like Ken Horowitz, to put in perspective, in 1997, Horowitz put $5 million to Lockhart, and that was considered a big investment. Yes. And he invested $5 million out of pocket. Mm-hmm. We made a big deal of it. Ken Horowitz is putting $5 million out of his own money, to make Lockhart Stadium playable. And this guy is spending, this group, it's not one guy, but this group is spending $100 million for that, and that's not even their intended final stadium.
Right.
That's their temporary stadium and their training facility. So, yeah, it's costing a lot of money. And they, and if they want to sign a DP, that costs a lot of money. And even these guys, Pizarro was $12 million. I think Pellegrini was around $9 million or something. So they're spending a lot of money. They're spending a lot of money on this team. And they have a very large staff. Again, not like the Fusion. This group has many, even in the PR department, they've got people that are just doing videos. They have people that are doing social media. They have someone who's handling day-to-day, reporter, a full-time vice president of communications. So they are operating as a major league sports team, and it's very expensive. So, if it comes down to dollars, Qatar Airways is definitely in the running.
Yeah, and I don't blame them if they go with Qatar. I completely understand it. And listen, if we start checking everybody's record all around the world, there aren't too many people that are perfect. Okay, so
only us. Yeah, just kidding.
So you know what I'm saying. So let's not throw rocks when we ourselves live in one hell of a glass house here in this country. Okay, so we're as guilty too, doing some shady stuff here. It's almost I've gotten into this, and I don't want to that, but.
We're not getting into politics.
No. But it's funny when somebody says, "Well, this flag doesn't." Everybody I say that about every flag in this world. That no flag in any represented. We're not perfect, and so no countries built perfectly. That's for damn sure. So, all right, what is? Now, how have they have you asked about this at all? Are they worried about any of the backlash or anything like that?
Well, they're aware of it. They're very aware of it. They're not saying too much. They're really still negotiating with a few companies, so nothing has been settled yet. There are, of course, the tabloids in England, they like to, publish things, and some of them is true and some is not true. But, from the people that I spoke to within the organization, nothing has been finalized. Nothing has been done yet. They are negotiating with those companies. They're very aware. I mean, they're very aware of, because of the World Cup. I mean, they know that there was a backlash with Qatar hosting the World Cup, so they're aware that any affiliation with Qatar is probably going to have some of the same concerns as everybody had when Qatar won the World Cup bid. So they're aware. I'm sure, like I said, because they are acting like a professional organization, I am sure that they are, they're very aware of all the ramifications of the different choices and what they make. So So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
All right,
With that, as for this week, yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Let me ask you a question that's a little odd. I don't know if you've approached them about this. When it comes to the USL, is it going to be when Inter's on the road, they're home, or will they do this also? Play both games on certain days, maybe have the USL team open it up so that way people can, the Inter fans can come early and get a taste of the USL team. How are they going to handle that at that stadium?
I don't know. They have not released their schedule. That is a good question. My initial thought was that they were going to play when the other team is not there.
You're right. That's right.
But in some ways, maybe it makes sense to do some on the same day, because then you hire the stadium staff for one day, not for two. I mean, they would have to work longer hours, obviously, but you only have to get the stadium ready and the food and this and that on certain dates. So I don't know. That's a good question, and I will ask that question, and I'll have the answer for you before next Wednesday.
Yeah, because
that's a good question.
I think it's a great, and I think they should have an exhibition or a preseason one between both. That way, people can go see both their teams and all that stuff. Because I personally, I know I'm one of the few. I know you're going to be another one of the crazies, but I'm going to go there to go see the USL team too on some other days. I have no.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm looking forward to that. I'm actually looking forward to going over into my backyard and seeing the Miami FC now that they're in the USL. I'm going to go support them a little bit too. I'm you know how it is, Michelle. I'm going to always support local soccer, but it's just I'm interested to see what they do, because I think you want to try to create some pretty cool synergy between both. So you want to educate and you want to show people the different levels, and because we grew up with A-ball, AA, and AAA in the majors. Well, the rest of the world grows up with first, second, and third divisions and all that good stuff in soccer all over the world. We kind of got to start to instill that in our crowd. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's why I just think it makes a lot of sense. I don't know. I want to see if they end up doing it. By the way, before I let you go, the Wong story was awesome. I loved it.
You.
I loved it. And explain to folks, because this is a young man that plays for the UM basketball team. And he's doing terrific. But Michelle wrote a story about how he kind of got to this place. And in a way, I think his mom came up with a really creative way of instilling hard work and dedication. Explain.
Yeah. Isaiah Wong, his mom, he's from Philadelphia area, and living there. So she, 4 sons, signed a contract with her from the time they signed a contract, say what they're going for that year, what their grades be, doing sports, and then in high school. He said, I still have a contract with my mom. He said, before the start of the season, I had a contract with my mom, and some of them were simple things. Make a big play in a college game. Score 20 points. Make ACC Freshman of the Week, and that's the one he did just this week. He was named ACC Freshman of the Week this week from the whole league, which is amazing. He was up against all the big schools in Virginia, because he's really come strong. In place of Chris Lights, who was injured, they put Isaiah Wong, and he had 23 points on FSU, which is ranked number 8. He had 21 points the next game. So he's been, scoring around 20 points per game, and not only that, but getting assists and rebounds and steals, and he's really been playing very well. So anyway, so it was pretty cool. And he said his mom is the whole reason that he is where he is. That she, she's made them sign a contract every year. Like, she drew it up like a legal document. She had it printed out. I didn't put all the details, but she printed out legal documents, and they were all it wasn't just written on a sheet of notebook paper. It was like a formal looking document with each kid's goals, and then she would sign it and they would sign it.
You got to interview her. You got to do a story on her.
Yeah.
She's an inspiration for every parent out there. I think I think it's a great idea, and I'd love to see how. I don't think in the story it was how she came up with it, right?
No, it didn't say how she came up with it,
Yeah.
but I do know that it worked because
Yeah.
the two older sons, they're both, they both have really good jobs. Both of them are both are employed. One is 28, one is 24. The younger brother is 16, and he's a soccer player. So all four sons have done very well, college educated with jobs. And, now Isaiah is, he got a scholarship to UM.
This, you get on them, all that kind of stuff, how it's been throughout. That's a fascinating story. The other thing.
No, it was good. It was a really cool, very inspirational,
I loved it.
mothering. And the kid he really seems like a kid. He does.
I loved it. Something I never thought I'd see because. And I know it's early in the season, but man, Gino DeMar being number one.
They're number one to see the UM baseball team number one again. That's been a while.
I got to say, I don't know if I really expect that anymore, considering how much more difficult it is nowadays. Baseball program to have success compared to
Virginia Tech. So, we'll see what happens. But they have some interesting, this guy, Isaiah Wong, is very good as a freshman. The other freshman is Harlan Beverly, who's also good. And there's another one named Anthony Walker. So there are three freshmen who have shown a lot of promise, and they're just going to be sophomores next year. And they've got a couple of big blue-chip recruits coming in next year. So next year might be an interesting year for the basketball team. This year they're going to just try to, this year their goal is just to kind of improve and see what happens in the ACC tournament. But I think next year could be interesting.
Michelle, do you think, and I was going to let you go, but I have to ask you this, do you think Roy Williams is losing it a little bit? Because it's really
I love
weird.
Roy Williams.
I like
cute. I love Roy Williams.
I like him too. I like him too, and I love what he had to say actually after the press conference, because I don't feel you should ever feel sorry for you. You got to always, fight the good fight every single day. I love the attitude that he has, but it's really weird. Carolina's this bad in the ACC.
To see it at the bottom.
Yeah, that's not normal.
She was very much rooting against North Carolina in that game. But that game, honestly, North Carolina had that game won. That was one of the most thrilling overtime endings, in recent basketball history in college hoops. So there was a total heartbreaker there that they were, they were 1 second away from beating Duke, which is a top 10 team. And then this past Saturday, a week later, the same thing with Virginia. They were, again, in position, and you could say, I guess, the winning teams win and the losing teams lose those close games. But they've been in position. It's not like they're being blown out. They did blow out the University of Miami, which shows you where UM was at that time. But I don't think I know this sounds like lame, and people say this in sports all the time. I don't think they're as bad as their record. I really don't think that team is as bad as its record. First of all, Cole Anthony was out for a long period of time. Their best player, their big star freshman, he was out injured. And then the way they lost to Duke could have gone either way, and the Virginia game could have gone either way. So I don't think they're as bad as the standings show. So I still believe in Roy Williams.
All right. Follow her on Twitter at Koff Sports. Catch her exceptional work covering Inter Miami or the University of Miami at the Miami Herald. As always, Michelle, you are the best. Thank you, as always, for taking some time.
All right, sure, no problem. Take
You got
care.
it. Thank you.
Okay.
There you go.
Bye-bye.
She's always fantastic, man. Always informative. And really, go check out that article she wrote about the young man Wong. I thought that was so cool that the mom would do that, man. That's smart. Smart. I hope she does follow up and do an interview with her, because I really want to hear from the mom and everything that she's doing.
I know you didn't watch it because of your total lack of college basketball following nowadays because of how bad it is. But
I watch the U.
Right, and that's
pretty much it.
The Duke.
I'll watch highlights, but I don't.
You saw the highlight, that Duke North Carolina game.
It's
probably the very best free throw miss rebound I've ever seen. And the kid said he practices throwing it off and like having it go to the same spot, and he's worked on it actually. because the way he threw that, man, and it went right to the right,
it's
and
just,
he runs over. It was incredible.
It's just a bogus type of sport now for me.
You know what?
It's just not that good anymore.
You know what? You know what would help them, if the NCAA got their head out of their butt and allowed kids that don't get drafted to go back to school. Okay? Because you know how these guys are misinformed, this, that, and they all leave, and there's only 2 rounds, and there's this whole plethora of kids that should be back in college that now are looking to go to Europe and stuff like that. I really think that would help the college game more than anything else. Let those kids that don't get drafted to go back to school.
Right. I got you.
They're young.
That
they
would
took
make
a
sense.
chance. You know what I mean? They made a mistake. Don't excommunicate them and not let them back.
Well, but the problem is that you start taking money from the agent once you sign with him or her, and that's your problem. So there has to be a comfort zone there. There has to be, you can't sign with the agent, declare, and then, say, okay, if you like your draft position, then you can go with the agent. But if you don't take money. And
you set parameters, right? And if you cross this line, then you don't have the option. But at least give them some wiggle room, because I really think that would help.
Well, they are nowadays.
College.
I mean, they got the transfer portal now. Now, the guys can move around as much as they want now. So they've got an opportunity now.
The transfer portal
compared to the way it used to be,
it's too lenient. Well, people. Let's be honest. People take off with the quickness.
That's kids. All right, let's tell you about Toyota of Hollywood, right down the street, baby. The #1 volume Toyota dealership in the Southeast United States. Over 400,000 square feet. Steve Ostrov, man, nobody does a better job. That's why he's the man. Over 1,500 cars and trucks. That way you can walk around and pick the real Corolla you want, because it's going to be in all kinds of colors, all kinds of models, all kinds of styles. You want a Supra? They've got the largest selection of Supras out there. Supras are very limited. You want a Tundra? Or you're looking for a Camry? I've got an XSE that is beautiful, man. Let me tell you, the Camry XSE, what a great vehicle that is. That is awesome. In fact, we went to Tampa in it over the weekend. That was fantastic. We'll be cruising in it next week again, taking a little cruise. Folks, they've got all kinds of great programs, 0% financing for 72 months. Tell them that Big O sent you. They'll take care of you. 1841 North State Road 7 in Hollywood. It's Toyota of Hollywood.
No one expects to get into a crash, but I expect you to go to accidentlawfirm.com if you do. Make sure when hiring a driver, you go through a rideshare app so that you can be covered by the insurance, which can be up to $1 million, whether you're a passenger or a driver. In other words, don't try to save a few bucks by paying cash instead of going through the app. I'm attorney Bobby Nunez from Nunez Law in Miami, and we're here to help you through the process. Go to accidentlawfirm.com for a free consultation from me, Bobby Nunez. That's accidentlawfirm.com.
Thinking about buying or refinancing a home? Act now. Home values are ticking up. Don't put off making a move any longer. Call Michael Kodsey now at Choice Mortgage Bank, 561-441-2730, while mortgage interest rates are still at historical lows. Call now to get pre-approved and buy your dream home. If you're currently paying over $800 a month for rent, call 561-441-2730 now before interest rates go up. Down payments as low as 3.5%. Veterans may qualify for no money down. If you own a home, but you're upside down, Michael Kodsey can help. If you're being denied by your bank or your loan process is taking too long, call 561-441-2730. Act now while fixed rates are still under 3.5%. Offices in Boca and Boynton Beach. Rates and terms subject to change daily without notice. Equal housing lender. NMLS 122081.
America's safest and best-selling compact luxury SUV is at Acura of Pembroke Pines, and this is how we do it. RDX, $339 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
The world's biggest band is coming twice. Metallica. Headlining the Welcome to Rockville Music Festival. 2 different nights, 2 different sets. The weekend of May 8th through the 10th. Go to welcometorockvillefestival.com for all information. Get your tickets on sale right now. The one, the only Metallica. Go to welcometorockvillefestival.com.
is the Big O Show. This 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 is the Big O Show.
We are back. We take you, of course, for a few more minutes, actually, because we're headed down the home stretch.
I can't
where
believe we're halfway through the fourth hour.
No, we're past halfway. There's only 20 minutes left. We're 2/3 already through the.
This is crazy, man.
Yeah. Yes. What's it called? Let me see here.
I tell you, I'm seriously thinking about trying that Mission Barbecue down there.
Okay.
Have you done that before?
The what?
The Mission Barbecue.
Oh yeah.
At the end of the
oh no, that place is really good. I hear. I've never been to Mission Barbecue, but everybody tells. No, actually, that's not true. We had Mission Barbecue brought to an event, and they did a really good job. I forgot what event it was, but I remember that it was Mission, and they did a really good job. So you will.
My buddy was telling me he was over in St. Pete, and he was telling me about having Mission Bar. I'm like, man, that's right down from Canesville. Like, what? And I got to give it a shot.
Yeah, it's a hell of a place, man. It's a hell of a place. Remember, folks, to give us the thumbs up when you're watching the broadcast. Share the link with folks of the YouTube link. Share it to, on a text, Twitter, Facebook, whatever. Spread the word. Spread the love. Tell them that we're out there. We didn't really get too much into the baseball talk, which I thought was kind of crazy. I don't know if I want to get into the baseball talk. Maybe we'll leave it for tomorrow, and we'll go after some of the. I mean, the commissioner today was just or yesterday was doing a backpedaling like no other, man. I got to tell you that was funny.
At the rate that this is going on, man, there's going to be like 5 or 6 new sound bites.
Oh yeah, yeah,
I mean,
definitely. So we'll get into it tomorrow. I'll give you my piece on that. Panthers and Ducks tonight at 10 o'clock. We'll see if the Panthers can get another win. They won the other night. Doesn't mean really anything. They got to win a lot to start getting out of this funk. The Heat, by the way, we finally get basketball back tomorrow night on Thursday as they wrap up their road trip, this long-ass road trip that had a week in between in Atlanta. It was a West Coast trip, but they were finishing their road trip in the East with the Hawks. So that'll be at 7:30. We got all of that going on. What else do we have here on the program that I wanted to talk about? Oh, Tyson Fury and Deontay. Are you guys going to watch that? Because it's really kind of intriguing, I think, because Fury is a showman, and he knows how to play the crowd. And he's a character. I mean, we've seen him sing in the ring after a fight. This is a guy that is wired like very few. And then Deontay Wilder is this intense freak that has hammers for hands. And I'm sure most of you saw any of the shows, or I watched Max on Boxing yesterday and watched the packages that they have for all these fights, and I watched that fight anyway. And when Fury got up, that was one hell of a moment, and that's where this fight gets intriguing, And Wilder knows that the next time he's got to finish the dude off, because he got up and that was a problem for him from there on out. And one guy's a boxer, the other guy's more of a puncher. And so we have styles make fights, and now Tyson is talking about kind of changing his style and going aggressively after Wilder and predicting even a knockout in the second round. Now, again, this could be all show, right? And Wilder could be, hey, you know what? I got to be focused this time around. Fury changed his diet, and he's not eating, and he's like in the best shape he's ever been and all that good stuff. He's an awkward guy. Awkward kind of fighter, and the way he kind of approaches things, it's not normal. He's not a traditional fighter, as Wilder has traditional in him as a traditional puncher. You know what I'm saying? But this is going to be a pretty cool fight, I think.
If it's like the first one, man, it's going to be a fight.
Yeah. And listen,
it was a really fun fight to watch, that first one.
A lot of these class. I mean, for you young people, you barely ever see it at all.
They never had one.
Yeah, no. I mean,
our last good ones were what? Holyfield, Bo? Is that how far back we got to go?
I'll go Lennox Lewis and Holyfield.
Okay.
Not even Bo. Bo is kind of a...
Not even Bo, huh?
Yeah, Bo's kind of a flash in the pan. Really...
Almost 30 years ago.
Oh, I know. Terrible. It's terrible. Terrible, bro.
Supposed to be the weight class in boxing, and it's been non-existent
anymore. Just have evolved, and I'll tell you what Bob Arum dinner in able to sit physically next to Bob Arum for this dinner. So
that's super cool, by the way.
Oh, yeah, of course. Can you imagine a historian like that?
All time, yeah.
Right.
Wow.
So I get to talk to him, and we talked about the heavyweights. And he looked at me and he goes, "You know what's wrong with the heavyweights?" And I go, "No, what's wrong?" And he goes, "They're playing power forward in the NBA. They're middle linebackers in the NFL. They're defensive ends in the NFL. Or forwards." You see Frank Thomas, that should have been a heavyweight. That's what he tells you. It's hard to argue with that. Those athletes chose those big, strong another profession they thought was safer and make them more money, is more in the spotlight than the heavyweight boxing class. And by the way,
It really makes sense.
it does, because there's only one heavyweight champ, right? And maybe a contender or two. Whereas, and there are, money in 32 defensive ends making money, actually 6 making money in the NFL that could have been boxers. Any outside backers. You know what I mean? That he's saying. And I sat back and I thought about it, and I go, wow. About what could have been in the heavyweight class. He's because those athletes disappeared in that weight class. And you're like, where did they go? Because they stayed in the middle. They stayed in the Walter. They stayed in lightweight. But what the hell happened to the heavyweights? So, yeah. There you go. That's your dilemma by a guy. Some term. Interesting. But I am looking forward to, especially in the weight class, you don't get a lot of those fights. So you want to enjoy the few that you get. And that's definitely one of them. No doubt about that. 786-322-1105 if you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com line. That's 786-322-1105 if you want to get in. Yes.
John and Nico have exactly 13 minutes to show up.
Nico said he was slacking. Let's see. We got a viewer called Limousine Girl. A new seen Limousine Girl. Conklin, Connor McGovern, no doubt. What else do we have here? I mean, but that's the thing about drummers. Portnoy. Portnoy's a hell of a drummer. From Dream Theater? I mean, give me a break. That guy's as good as anybody out there. It's just one of those things. It's very subjective. Can someone block this Limousine Girl? Why? What is Limousine Girl doing? Let's see. The plop was so intense, the water splashed back up my ass cheeks. Okay? They call that a poisonous kiss. At my sister's wedding, I was so drunk I was vomiting and essing at the same time. Okay, Limousine Girl is very interesting on our chat board. Did you ever fart in the bathtub? Limousine Girl is asking. Bloop, bloop.
Oh, that's Mr. Bubbles from Eddie Murphy said,
Eddie Murphy.
Yeah.
The jacuzzi, right?
Trading places. I see, if we wanted jacuzzi in the bathtub when we were kids, we had to do Mr. Bubble.
Yeah, exactly.
Fart in the bathtub.
NFLPFS, whatever playback says. So you buy season pass and sell single tickets. Expensive. Sounds like a deal and good money. That's actually very smart on your part. You buy the season tickets. It's already sold out. So you can sell the single game tickets and make a little money.
It's what most people do, man.
Yep.
Hurricane tickets, season tickets.
Oh, yeah.
The Florida State game, they sell that ticket and they go to the other games. Miami Heat, another one, man. The big guys come in town, you buy the packet, you sell like 5 or 6 of the tickets, and it pays for the majority of the season.
Josh is asking, Big O, are you ready for this weekend? I am. Is there something I don't know about this weekend that I'm supposed to know about? Something special happening this weekend? I know I'm on Sirius 3 to 7 on Sunday. I'm on tomorrow night also on Sirius, by the way.
Tomorrow night?
Yeah, what? Something wrong going on?
Yeah. We got a double dip on Friday, man. Your voice is already.
No, tomorrow's Thursday.
That's what I'm saying. Like
Oh,
you got
yeah,
two
yes.
shows tomorrow, and then Friday we got a double hit.
Yes.
Are you going to try to take on a serious show on Friday night, man?
No.
Come
no.
on, man.
No, they offered it.
They
offered it.
and you turned them down.
I told them, dude, don't offer me Fridays anymore. I do 2 shows on Friday.
No,
I cannot do 3 shows anymore. I did that once, and I think that's why my voice is like this.
It's never recovered
I have
from
not
that.
I have not recovered from 3 shows in one day, and I don't really break. It's not like I take 3-4 days off.
No,
I don't. I'm back tomorrow again. So yeah. Ramona K is saying, any word of Brady still going to Miami? Want to hear your opinions. Ramona, don't believe that, sweetie. Okay? That's all silliness. That's never going to happen. Okay? That's not true. Brady coming here would be absolute. Don't waste your time on that, Ramona. Don't believe the people that are talking about that, writing about. They don't know anything. They're just writing crap to fill space. Says, out sound, Big O. Really?
Oh.
It might be. Not sure.
No, it's us because I could see it,
Oh, it did?
clicking. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry
Yeah.
about that, bro.
It's the Wi-Fi.
All right. Ramona says, draft a quarterback, sign Brady, let the rookie learn from the best. Nah, that's not going to happen, Ramona. I think the phone owner just said that they were not going to throw up smoke screens. Okay, I don't know what that means. Oh, if I'm ready for a weekend. Oh, because this is the case. Yes, I am. My bad.
There's a lot of people around the country giving us a bunch of crap about the fact that we're celebrating Wade for a whole weekend, and it's like,
well, he's our guy, bro. 3
Exactly.
championships.
Thank you.
Screw that. Screw them. Like I said in the first opening segment, you're going to have the Dougie Fresh. Oh, I like the Brady leaving pass. We don't hear about wants to leave England. Go for it. I didn't think it. If it's going to happen, then he's going to take what? Tannehill.
Go take Garoppolo's job. You talked about the way they could work the money and this and that, and it's not such a bad cap hit the way
Yeah.
they wrote that contract.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be something?
But Garoppolo's young, so you're building on that. Ryan Tannehill never will be a franchise guy, so you're better off that. I saw Primus and Bella Fleck play in South Beach in the early 90s. Nice. That is very good. Sad that they won't be able to bring up one of the guitarists in Mark St. John, the late Mark St. John. Is that what you're saying? Or Eric Carr will not be able to be there either because we lost Eric Carr. We've lost Kiss members. All right, it is time to wrap it up here on the show live from Caneswear, which, by the way, here at Caneswear, I got to show you some stuff here at Caneswear. They've got 3D Orange Bowl coasters. Is this a talking point or what? Huh? How cool is that? 3D. So it's like, it's lit. It's the whole stadium. Size one that you put in your sports room, but check it out, man. 3D coasters of the. How about that?
Like I said earlier, I hate this place.
It's endless the amount of things that you would want in this place.
It's just sick.
I bought this shirt for the Inter Miami game last week. This is a shirt. They've got them here. The jerseys come out next week. But if you want a killer shirt, look at that. That thing this thing is a beauty. There
That's
we go.
A good shirt, no
I keep
doubt.
forgetting that I can talk through the shirt. See? It's a beautiful thing.
It's the best look everybody's had out there in YouTube land all
doubt.
day, right?
No doubt. I finally look good on camera. This is the best way I can look on camera right here. And they've got a couple different kinds of shirts. He bought a white one that's really cool. It's got the logo and it says Miami.
Be honest, man. You got that for me, man.
Well, whatever.
You did good. You did really good,
it's
brother.
It's a dry fit, and it was really, really cool. It looked really comfortable.
Oh, super.
Right?
Like Brett had warned, it runs a size small, so the double X was perfect for my extra
XL.
large. It was perfect.
Yeah. If you buy the white one, buy it one size bigger. Oh, John is here with the check too, so we can build the studios. So anyway, so if you buy the white one, buy it one size bigger when you come out here. What's up, Johnny? You doing all right? Good to see you,
So
baby.
the only slacker
Where's the big
today
check?
is Nico.
Yeah, Nico, you're slacking. What are you doing?
John
working?
made the appearance.
What are you trying to do? Work, Nico? Huh? Anyway, we got to wrap it up. I got to get out of here. I got to get down to Coral Gables for a couple of meetings.
You're going to go have Casolas.
Yes, after. I am going to have a slice. Just a slice. That's all. You would have 3 or 4.
No.
Just one.
No. I'd have 2 or 3 because it's like 6.
Yeah,
It's 2.
And I always got to tell them to get that one slice and slice it into like 3 slices because it's so damn big.
It's like 1/3 of a pizza.
And then the best part about Casolas is that while you're waiting for your food, you're picking on little pieces of pizza that they bring out for free, which is awesome. All right, we thank Ray Fittipaldo from the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, Dalton Del Don, Yahoo Fantasy writer, Michelle Kaufman, of course, from the Miami Herald. We thank, of course, John and Bill, as always, getting it done. Without Bill, without John, we'd be completely lost. And, of course, without John Rouse here and his big check to build our studio, that we definitely would be.
Studio on the way. Compliments of John.
Phones and everything, thanks to John Rouse here. Okay? We thank all of you, of course, for keeping it locked like you do every single day. We love you.
Thank you, O.
Even one of our new followers here, Limousine Girl, who looks a little risque on the chat board.
Nothing wrong with that.
Ramona K comes in nice and calm and cool, and Limousine Girl comes in like a ball of fire. You gotta love it.
Variety, brother.
The ladies are chiming in.
Variety is the spice of life.
I didn't
man.
Did I see Lakeisha? Did Lakeisha chime in? Did we get Lakeisha today?
You never mentioned Lakeisha today.
I don't know if I saw Lakeisha today. Yeah.
We're missing you, Lakeisha.
Yeah. We miss you, Lakeisha. All right, you guys be good out there. Don't forget to give us the thumbs up. Share the link. Share it with everybody. Tell them about the SoundCloud, Spotify, Stitcher, all that Google stuff.
We'll talk to you tomorrow from Toyota of Hollywood.
Toyota of Hollywood. We thank Brett and all the amazing people out here at Caneswear every single month broadcasting. We love you out there. Be good.
Have a good one, guys and girls.
This is the Big O Show.